Hey, Marco, you ready to do the totally coolest, awesome show ever?
What you gonna do, brother, when the dollar bin digger and the Star Wars man goes running wild on you, brother? Let's go! That was hilarious. You messed it up. Ruben, good to see you. Go. Press go. Go.
I even let...
Oh, man, that's funny. Remember not to leave our private.
I was like, oh, yeah, Ruben's here. I forgot to switch back to where the video.
Oh, my God. We screwed up our whole intro again. One day, I'm telling you, one day we're going to get the intros down. We are. Thank you, Jedi Test. We try to get our intros the best. But hey,
we could record one and be real generic about it.
No, absolutely not. No, I think it's better. I think it's better you going 5 minutes before we start. Do you have the intro? No. So we're not doing an intro. We're doing an intro. Don't worry about it. Let's go. Ruben, good to see you too. Good to see you, Sacred Jedi Text. Great to see everybody in the chat. Ruben, great stuff on IG. Good to see the kids and everything like that. It's good to see you're having a good time out there. Pete, there's a lot of news. I'm back from vacation. As you can see, the compound is safe, and so is all my toys and everything and all my comics and all my money. It's all good, just in case people were worried. We did have it on lockdown. It's like the steel bars come down when we leave the place. So. I'm back now, however, so I can sleep tonight. I'm going on like 6 hours.
That's got to be nice. Getting back to your own bed is always nice.
It is. And plus, if you guys watched last week's, all 300 of you that did, you'll notice that during the last 30 minutes, I was holding up a desk to give you a recap on that desk. Haven't been charged for it, but it wasn't my fault. That's all I'm going to say.
No. You glued it. You're fine.
The whole bottom end of that desk, just in the middle of the show, fell off. Just fell off. And I was like, holding the desk up at one point. Yeah. So either way, I glued it back together with a little bit of Gorilla Glue, a gallon full of water, and a fifth of Maker's Mark to use as pressure to lock it together. It worked. It worked.
The last guy probably broke it before you. It probably wasn't your fault, and he only used Elmer's, so that's why.
Yeah. I mean, I did a pretty good glue job on it too. You couldn't see much of the epoxy. I hate using the epoxy, the Gorilla Glue for it, but
hey, you gotta.
I mean, I'm in the antique business, so I hate to do that because it's terrible. But at that place, just because my son did show up with a bottle cap of Bud Light at one point. So and it was right on the lake. You saw the actual pictures. I wasn't showing everybody. It's a nice place. Don't mind you. I mean, you don't get a better view out there or anything like that. But I mean, sometimes you gotta. I think they're having a hard.
Sometimes even the nicest places can slip, especially
I think they're having a hard time hiring staff right now. Is what I hear. So it is what it is. But anyways, besides that, we're back and we're gonna hit home runs with a lot of news today. There's a lot of news out there.
There's a lot of news,
and we've hit the Suicide Squad stuff too. And what else? Oh, so we're gonna start with news right now. Hit it on news.
Yeah, let's do the news. What the hell? All right, we got plenty of news this week. Shuffle through the papers.
Yep, good. All right, good. Got all the news covered. What do we got first, Pete?
I believe, I don't know, I've kind of gotten in a rhythm of starting us off with box office stuff. And, well, we got another comic book movie that came out in the theaters, so figured we'll just take a quick peek at what that's doing. But I got a bunch of stuff. You see, there's a lot of stuff that popped up this week, just the last couple of days. But we are going to start off first with, Suicide Squad, which it just didn't do well at the theater, just unfortunately.
Look, first off, two things. If you're going back to the theaters, you're going to have to take your kids, right? We can't even say what they said in Suicide Squad because the first 3 minutes of Suicide Squad, we would have lost. Well, we don't get monetized on this channel yet because make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you haven't everybody else subscribed. Get this to 1,000. But hey, there was so many swear words, F-bombs, and talking about how many penises need to be eaten to be patriotic, I guess, on the beach. I mean, but it wasn't watching Suicide Squad. It's the first time DC hasn't taken themselves so seriously.
Yes.
I guess that's my biggest argument with DC heads. Like, and one of the reasons why I don't consider myself, even though I love DC, some DC stuff, you'll never hear me self-subscribe myself as DC head or DC person or whatever. You'll always have me doing other things. I'm more of a Marvel dude, even though I ton of independence. Like, I have no problem with Marvel. The problem with DC is there's this a little bit for a long time. There's been a little bit of snootiness around it, and it's always that it's so serious. We're the first ever character. Okay, dude, Suicide Squad's hilarious because all the characters are pretty much ripoffs of other characters, right? Oh, we're so serious. It's always serious. Batman, You can't make fun of how it makes no sense or that he is sharing a bed with a young man and stuff like that. You can't do any of that, right? Like you can never knock it. The whole Gordon thing, you can never knock any of that. You can't knock anything. You can't change any. Come on, man. Like every story, the fact that every major superhero in DC is the exact same backstory. They all had a parent that died, major tragedy, going back to fight justice. Like, no, am I wrong?
No, you're not. Most of them are rich. They also have.
Yeah, they're all rich. Yeah, I mean, it's like, come on, man. It's the same thing. But you can't ever say that. You can't do it. Can't do it. So, like, it's good to see that they put Gunn. Now, I don't know. I don't know from the DC heads what they're going to have to say about this. But from a cinematic show, it was great, man. And from a superhero show, it was good. Like, I mean, I wanted to watch more. I was watching it going like, when's it going to be really bad? Dude, the first 15 minutes where they did the thing, hey, hit the thing. Hit the right.
Oh.
Hurry, do it right now. Do it.
We're gonna do the thing.
Yeah, do the thing.
I gotta find the thing. There was the thing. All right, here's the
thing.
Right.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Warning.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Oh my God.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Dude, I forgot you were such an Archer. I love Archer.
I do love Archer.
I mean, Pam. Go Pam. It shows what you had to go probably interrupt. Anyways, but the thing with it is when they had the first team go out there, the die-off team,
yeah,
it was awesome. That was just awesome.
It was so sad. Like everyone's like, Falula Borg, he's gonna be great. He had a moment, but that was it.
Dude, he was great when he started to do the thing and tell her about the javelin. I actually was surprised.
I also liked him on the plane too when he's like, "Your name is just letters." All names are letters.
All names are letters. That was awesome. And then you saw Boomerang, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, Captain Boomerang's gonna be around." Either way, you know what I mean? Like, it was really cool. It was cool what they did. It was funny, and then it made sense. It wasn't just for slapstick comedy. It actually made some sense, which I don't think I've seen that before out of them, and it was very entertaining. I will say this: the fail at the box office, I think, and it's exactly what JJ said. Even though it was a pain to get it on HBO because you had to go to sign in 2 different ways.
No, I got it set up fine.
No, I had trouble.
Did you?
But yeah,
that was also pretty good. JJ.
Yeah, Pete Davidson lost his face. That was amazing too.
It's me.
But that's it.
Called. I'm the guy you called.
Yeah, you're not. What are you watching? You're not taking. You're taking your. Well, you should take a date. If your date goes to you with this boy, girl, whatever you're taking on a date, if they go to this movie with you and come out and they're like, I don't know what the fuck you took me to, but I liked it, or like, all right, this is what you find entertaining, I gotta accept it.
That's the one.
That's a keeper, dude. But it's a lot safer to do that at home, right? Like it really is. It's a lot safer to do that at home.
But you can't blame it on home because most of the places I looked at, they're kind of estimating even with that at home, it's still been only taking in 55, which kind of sucks. When you consider that first movie, it took in 65 just in the first day.
How are they figuring out? This is the thing. How are they figuring out?
They did the same kind of guerrilla math that we did before, where it was like, well, if every household were to pay $10 a ticket, I don't know. I saw somebody out there who did it like online, and that's where they kind of threw that number out. And
I'm just saying, like, and by the way, it is summertime, right? So if you're actually going to the regular blockbusters and it's later, and we've already had like a couple movies out to go to. So in theaters, to be honest with you, everywhere I drove across the state, I did do some teetering, and it does not look like if they're open for a very limited time. I'll tell you that. So
that's all I think that's part of it. It's not theaters like before where there's showings every half hour that you could go to. It's you go to a theater. It's like, well, you can see it at 4:00 or you can see it at 7:00.
But this is what I'll say. This is the one problem. They have a Han Solo problem. The Han Solo movie problem. Okay, first off, go try to find, not us, but have your significant other, your cousin, your neighbor, have them come on over on the HBOs. They go, hey, dude, I want to watch the new Suicide Squad movie. and see what they pull up. Because there's two things. When you go to HBO Max, the first thing that pulls up is Suicide Squad. The second thing that pulls up is The Suicide Squad. Because this happened to me. You tell me how confusing or not confusing that is to somebody. It's very, very confusing. So they haven't even made it not confusing. What's going on, Joe? They made it very confusing. So, I mean, I take it with stride. I just want to see what everybody's opinion is on this movie, if they liked it, if they don't. I think it's great. I know you said they're not going to let them do it again. That would be a major mistake by DC.
I just don't think they have the time. Like, I don't think they made enough. And considering he's got his commitments to Marvel again, like we got Guardians 3 to film. He's got that Christmas special to do outside of Peacemaker, which they'll wrap up. And that's coming out in January, I think, like early 2022. Like once that's done, I think it'll be a while before he can come back to DC.
Oh, they better have a checkbook for him to get him back ASAP, because if not, DC is going to be DEAD again.
Yeah, but at the same time, Marvel should have done the same thing. Shouldn't have let him go in the first place. Shouldn't have let him get over there. But
Eric's got something. He's saying that the R hurts the box. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like the R rating hurts the box office numbers too. I know the Deadpool thing, but yeah, the thing with it. The one thing with it being rated R is I bet you get a bunch of households, and then it's tough.
That's old. That's an old idea. I don't think that's true anymore.
I think there's still a lot. No. This is what I'm saying. Like if you're going out, this is why I think you're right, Pete. If we didn't have the old COVID thing, but ever since that hit, now if you get the one night to take the family and the kids out to go to the theater, you're not taking Timmy. Look, it's just there's not a lot of people going to it in the first place, but you're not taking Timmy out to go watch fucking Eat a Bag of Dicks. For patriotism.
What I mean, when you think about it, the last one was PG-13, but I would be just as uncomfortable with them over sexualizing Harley and having her get changed and dressed in front of everybody as opposed to what that's what I'm saying. It's not appropriate. It's not an appropriate family video. If you want to hit it, you have to have a family friend video. That's the only way I think we can get back to it in theaters. Is if you can get a family fun, family friendly video that's still got action in, that you can have everything from the 15 to 16-year-old all the way down. You know, I was with a bunch of I was with a couple 19 and 20-year-olds, some family. They're not really cousins, but they're cousins. And one is, the other was the boyfriend. And we fish, right? We big charter fishing, big fishing, non-charter, whatever. And they get up there, and she pulls in the 19-year-old. She pulls in like a 28 salmon coho, right? Okay. Nice fish, never done it before. Pulls it in, reels it in 220 feet. Really big moment. Doesn't smirks, doesn't do much. Gets on the deck, cool. The boy, 21-year-old, goes out there. Rainbow trout, nice 20. Rainbow, pulls it in, looks great. Pulls in, never been big fishing before. Well, lake fishing before that big. Pulls in, doesn't say anything. The next bit, these two are sitting here clicking the camera. You didn't even know they loved it unless you checked their Facebooks and Instagrams. What I'm saying is we need those kids there to watch this movie. Then we need their brothers and sisters, which are like all the way down to 5-year-olds or 6-year-olds. It's not happening. If you get one, we couldn't have taken any of them out there. None of us could have gone and seen this weekend is all I'm saying, all the way through. So, but if we could get them somehow, if this starts hitting the Instagrams, if they start taking the pictures and this becomes memes and they start, something happens. Like it's like, say if they do the save my, that would be great. Save my javelin or something. We got it. That's what you got to check. Because I was listening to something else and they said something really smart. Well, as one of these guys said something really smart. He goes, how I've always been able to tell trends is I listen to popular music, and no matter what I think, popular music's going to hit. And I know, like for us, this is good, but we got to see is this tracking with the 19 and 20-year-olds? That's where we need to see if this is tracking. If it is, it'll be all right. And they should get Jim Gunn to do more stuff. If it isn't, then I think we're going to be around the $26 to $40 million every single time with that. And if he can't make movies for under that, then we're in trouble. We really are. But we're in trouble as a whole. So either way, well, his brother's still alive too. Oh, spoiler alert. That's true. That is true. Alert. Yeah, and I'm going to do something on my Forgotten First tomorrow, covering all of my missteps and guesses. So I'll have that tomorrow's video. You'll see a little bit more Suicide Squad. But up next, we got Paul Pfeiffer is leaving, writing Batman, and he's going to go do his own thing.
I didn't know he looked like that.
I didn't either.
That looks like somebody I would not let my kids be around.
You almost made me spit beer all over my computer.
Okay, so we're doing all DC today.
But we're just starting here. I mean, it wasn't just him. I mean,
The
so he's
pro-
going to kind of we can put the two together because I mean, yeah,
this
he's
is
leaving.
this is the thing. This is the thing. I don't know. The only one I'm upset about and it's just because of how it's going to turn out. And like, look, when Brian K. Vaughan years ago did his pay for subscription online thing, that didn't seem to work over so well. The problem I have is Substack. I really like. This is what we're doing now. We're sending email newsletters that's going to have comics in it. This is what we're doing.
Well, no, they're going to make comics as well. From what I gather, it's not going to be all.
No, I think they're going to send you a newsletter, and in the newsletter is going to be a link to a comic. And if you want to get past that paywall, you're going to have to start paying up every time. And when you get a couple pages in, you're going to have to pay again and pay again. And they might only give you a quarter of a comic. They might only give you 2 pages of comic. And they get to choose and pick how they're going to do this. Yeah, so there's that.
Well,
and James Tynion's Batman was doing so well that it was like the 20th best book.
Yeah, but I don't think it's because of Batman that you're worried about. I mean, he's also Department H. Something is killing the children. It is more of that independent kind of flair stuff that is driving.
His idea is going to do really well. There's a large population of people who believe. I like it because I think it's funny. It reminds me of I really am sad that's on this because I wanted to read this because this reminds me a lot of time. Like they had Coast to Coast, which there's some people who don't know that it's a spoof. They don't know it's not real. But I love that aspect of it. I love the whole storytelling, the sci-fi, the bringing back of like the 60s comic book and the novels and all that, that type of stuff. I love it. I love that sci-fi. And that's what this seems like it's going to be. Because the Blue Book, for those people that don't know, for the people that don't know what the Blue Book is, the Blue Book is supposed to be like this book of people. I'm trying not to offend anybody. It's these people put together.
Show? They had that show with Littlefinger on what was it? I don't know if it was on Sci-Fi. Or
was it about the whole encounter? Like it's people believe these are true stories. There's people who believe that they've been probed by aliens.
True stories.
Yeah, no. They're true. Like, okay, so this is the people that tell the stories for the most part, not all of them, but it's just like Coast to Coast, where the people, the majority of them who tell the stories, believe the stories to be true. And then there's a couple other people who tell stories who are good storytellers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so the Blue Book is the Bible for some of these people who believe, maybe not them, but other people have been probed by aliens or had alien encounters. Let's put it that way. Have had alien encounters as in extraterrestrials, as in from space, not from across the border. Yes. So that's what the Blue Book is. So he's doing these stories, which is going to be cool. Like that's cool as shit. Like I think it's great.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll see. But like you said, he's not the only one. I'm also intrigued by
I love Art Bell too. He's great, Eric.
I mean, he's world building here. I mean, he's got other people coming in to help him build.
That's another thing that I find super cool.
Like they're building, hey, Al Ewing, come up with the religions for this universe. And
dude, how well he did on
craziness.
What was the last one he just did for Image? It just ended like a year ago.
Decorum?
No. It ended a year ago. It was forever. It was like 5 or 6 years long. No, it was more than that. Remember, it had all the different races. Is post-apocalyptic. There's the Texan guy. There's the Chinese Empire. East versus West. East of West. How well he did on East of West. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing. I completely hope that after 2 years it fails and he makes no money off of it, so he'll have to print it. And when he prints it, I'll buy it and tell you how amazing it is. The other problem I have with this too, and this is what we're going to have to find out, is like it's one thing when you've got the conspiracy theorists, which the only reason I'm saying that is because Substack has a lot of that in there. But it's different when you have people who try to leak stuff, like the comic book, the collecting, and the just the pop culture people who always try to leak stuff, who set up YouTube channels just to spoil stuff all the time. Hence what we did earlier. You know what I mean? When you get that, all of a sudden screenshots are gonna come out pretty like when you got Betty Lou going on there and clicking in and subscribing to something, not quite understanding how easy it is to screenshot something or make a YouTube video out of it or do something like change around like that. That's one thing, okay? And Substack gets a lot of that. Like they're an interesting They have an interesting model.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, and then you got what? Aaron's doing something, but I think he's not giving up.
I like Del Mundo too, man. This is great. I hope, please do a whole run on this, and then let it fail, and then let's get it in paper.
Yeah, and what? And Snyder's doing like classes, like online, how to write comic like classes or something. He's not doing like books. He's like offering courses on how to write comic books.
Is he gonna tell you how to write a terrible movie and then like let somebody else direct it and then wait
Not
20 years? Oh, which Snyder are we
Not
talking
Zack Snyder, the Scott Snyder.
Oh, Scott Snyder? What's he gonna do?
Yeah,
How to draw like Kubrick?
Other Snyder.
He's gonna do it like Kubrick, the Kubrick classes. He's gonna teach
guess,
Kubrick?
but for writers, like it's some sort of writer classes.
Rob should sign up. He should be the first one.
But we'll see. We'll see what all comes from these writers. Now moving on. Yeah, it's like the 90s again. It's like Image. When all the artists left, now it's all the writers leaving.
Yeah, are they leaving though? It seems like they can create their own stuff. Like that's Hickman's the perfect example. Hickman was working on X-Men, right? And his run was going to come to an end eventually when his contract ran out. But he still could write stuff for it. Like it's like Kate.
Back.
No, but Kate. No, he could still write stuff at Image currently. Same thing with Kate's contract. I think the big two have figured out that like we can't. These guys are going to want their own titles, and if we want them to work for us at all, we have to independently contract them, and we're not going to be able to lock them in and only work for us anymore. That's a no-no anymore. So I don't think they're working for these guys and creating this stuff. This is their own stuff. But if you, especially Hickman, who's now managing stuff and bringing it on, think about Jim Lee in Image when it first came out and why the guys got all mad for him, right? He was running part of Image. He had the best line out of all, arguably at the time. Wildstorm was, as a whole, was the best line. And he would go back and do stuff for finally DC was like, oh no, we'll take you. Please come and do Marvel. Please come. And they figured out, look, we need to keep our doors open too. I think they've learned from that, and now they're just going to.
He went back to Marvel first, right?
He went to Marvel first. Guy. Yeah.
Well, he and Rob went back.
Well, but Rob sold. Well, whatever. Anyways,
I'm just saying it was like 96. Yeah. It was like 96. They went back.
But didn't he do some independent work for DC before that? I thought he did. Like in the background.
But that's where he eventually set up shop with Wildstorm. That ended up with DC, like as a sub thing with DC, and now
right.
But before that, he did go back for Fantastic Four and what was it, Iron Man? Jim Lee did, I think.
Yeah, this is exactly what JJ's saying, kind of like that. Yeah, I agree. I agree that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll move on from all those topics. I mean, we're already 20 minutes in. We're still on the second news topic.
Okay, keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on. So we got Batman 89.
I appreciate that, Joe. You're right.
Finally getting Marlon Wayans Robin in comic book form. But that whole rumor and idea that that's what Tim Burton wanted to do, that he wanted a Marlon Wayans Robin, we're finally going to get it.
Thank God they didn't do a Marlon Wayans Robin. And I like some of the Wayans brothers. And Marlon's a great writer. But I think at that time in 89, do you remember what Marlon Wayans was writing?
Oh, I remember.
By the way, shortly after that, they decided to do a movie called White Chick. You reference of what not a good idea is. That's one of them. But this comic,
like money.
Yeah. Well, I like J-Lo. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah. No, but like I said, he's a good writer. Like all
of them are pretty great.
But I think the older two are probably better actors than the younger two were a little bit. But I will tell you this: I read this book. I liked it. I liked the 89. It was a little bit nostalgic. I really loved the art. The art was really good. Like, you know what? As much as I complain sometimes about how bad some of the art's getting in comics and they're halving stuff, it was really good. Really good. The storyline kind of makes sense. You know, it is what it is. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was buddy E-Man Tony hit me up with this story late last night. He was like, "Hey, did you see this?" And he pointed out that he makes the cover, I think, on the
but
cover there.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Was Lando Calrissian, was he scheduled in 89 to play Harry Dent?
Oh, Harvey? Well, he was Harvey
Dent.
Whether they were going to make him Two-Face, I don't know if they ever really settled on whether they were going to do it or not.
Wait, who was Harvey Dent?
Yeah, that was Billy D.
Billy D was Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
In 89. Because that's exactly who it was in the comic book.
Yeah. He was Harvey Dent in the first two Batman movies. Yeah, he was Harvey Dent. But they never really said whether they actually were going to do that story or not, or bring Two-Face in. But, I mean, he was Harvey Dent.
He's Harvey Dent in the original Batman movie?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he showed up in the first one. It might have just been the second one.
The Val Kilmer.
No, it was the first one because it was Ed Koch going, "I want hot dogs. I want the whole schmear." Like he was, yeah.
Yeah, Ed Koch. Right.
But it was a bit role. It wasn't really a big role. Like he didn't really do much.
Okay. Well, he did a lot more in this book, and a very intriguing turn of events on it too. I might add.
JJ.
They did miss the chance to have the Fly Girls, Eric.
They did.
Do what you wanna do.
SW1.
All right, let's go next up.
Well, we're gonna stick with Robin, and I don't know how sensitive the interwebs are out there for this one, but so Tim Drake came out today. Is bisexual in a new Batman comic book.
Yeah, I'm mad because I always thought it was Dick Grayson.
You think so?
Yeah, he's always sharing beds with Batman and stuff.
I always liked Tim Drake too, but I also don't you remember like the whole him and Connor, like they had a like kind of a special like kind of relationship going on there.
Okay, so this is
all the undertones there.
This is under the Urban Legends line. Is that some of the stuff in Urban Legends? This is the problem.
I think it's canon because that's how Wildstorm got brought back to the DC proper.
That's what I'm saying. They have some weird stuff going on there because there's stuff like that wasn't canon that they're bringing into canon somehow and stuff like that. That's why I got confused with. I was like, is it? I know it's all like storylines for the non-Batman, like Batman characters that aren't Batman. Like I get that, but like some of the stuff is like from things that were like different realm type stuff. I mean, I don't know. So
Elseworlds? Do you think it was like an Elseworlds kind
of well, no. What was the last thing they came out with? Remember they did that like little short. It was like 3 months long. All the books, they were weird.
Future State.
Yeah, so there's a couple of Future State stories that show up in there. I think some other stuff. Yeah, I mean, whatever, dude. I mean, there's 15 Robins.
Exactly.
There? Ain't one of them gonna be? I mean, they all can't be the same, bro. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I felt that Tim Drake got a raw deal. Like once they brought Damian into the picture, like I said, I always liked Tim Drake. He figured out who Batman was on his own. He didn't have some crazy like tragic backstory to start. It eventually got tragic when his dad, I think Boomerang killed his dad somewhere along the line. Anyway, but I always liked Tim Drake. And then they kind of, when Damian got it brought into the picture, like, well, what are we going to do with him? Well, let's make him Red Robin. And they just kind of made him like a weird character. They couldn't find a place for him, putting him on these different Titans books. And
once again, DC's got a bazillion of the same character. Like
they do. And it's their own fault.
Go to a school, in your school, right? You went to school. About 30 kids, about 15 of them were boys, 15 of them were girls. You know what I'm saying? One of them, at least. So no problem with it. Except for that, they should have. Except for that, it doesn't fall in canon storyline because it technically should have been. Said Timmy Tams, it should have been. What's his name? Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson.
Bed. Yeah, he's always sharing a bed with Batman.
Well, yeah. Well, he had the whole thing. We had Oracle. He had Starfire. They gave him things.
Starfire got orange skin, right? She's an alien.
She does. She's an alien. That's true. Anyway, moving on from Rob. Oh well, we also it was issue 6 that came out this week. So
wow, that's a terrible cover, huh?
Yeah.
What they do to his face? All right, well, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just the mask. They made the mask too big a little bit, and I think, Anyway.
Well, White Knight was outside continuity. Okay.
That is true. But then the next little bit I wanted to throw out there, just because I thought these were kind of cool designs, I guess, is for the death of Doctor Strange. We're going to get some new villains.
Joe, Batman still doesn't know who the Joker is. It's been 100 years.
Well, there's 3 of them. He found out.
Oh, okay. All right. He had to go to a machine. At a machine, I had to tell him, the greatest detective of all time.
The machine told. That's what's fooled him. He didn't know there were 3.
Oh, okay.
That's what messed him up. It was like Hot Fuzz. It was more than one killer. That's the answer.
What is this, bro?
These are the mothers. The 3
They're
mothers.
Super creepy.
Yeah. I don't know what this worm lady is with
this looks like a half a boss for Final Fantasy, something that should be in Star Wars, and then this looks like some of that Del Toro stuff that hasn't been finished yet. And 8 David, isn't that that's a sculpture of David in there, right?
Hey, it kind of looks like it. It reminds me of Doctor Who with the Weeping Angels, like that when you don't look or you blink, they move. That's what the statue reminds me of. But then it's got a worm body. I don't know. But we're getting Death of Doctor Strange, and we're going to get a new Sorcerer Supreme. So.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Well, they've already write a check for Donny Cates too. Then I guess.
No, he's going to be doing Hulk. I don't know who's going to be doing this. But then I know this is your favorite. We talked a little bit about it before we started. King Spawn #1 shatters every superhero sales record of the last 25 years.
That's not true, actually. I think.
Does it? It qualified it.
Well, he's like the 10th. First off, it's 20 years, the 10th amount of pre-order sales. If it sticks at the path, it's
superhero.
Okay, let me just tell.
Of superhero, because and we know Star Wars was like 1 million, when Star Wars got rebooted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, so let me just tell you about two books that fall in that top realm that are pretty close to where it looks like this is going to land. And let me tell you how exciting these two titles are. You ready? Because Mr. Todd here, Mr. Toddy McFarlane's, is all about putting out press releases, bragging about how great he is and how great this is and how he's killing all the competition. So let me tell you what level he's at. Oh, wrong page. Sorry. Still in news. Other page.
We're still in news.
So right above him at 500,000 plus copies is like 507. 100. Yeah. Okay. Action Comic 1000.
Ooh. Really?
That was a $10 book too, wasn't it? Wasn't that a $10 book that you can find in dollar bins now? $10 book you can fill now. Okay. Shortly above that,
they had the decade cover. That was the problem. They gave you a decade cover, so you had to buy like 10.
This gives you a 250 personally signed, and I'm willing to bet that I bet you 1,000 people bought that, so you get 250,000 copies because you had 250. Okay,
the only way to get it signed was by hitting that incentive
for 250, and so he's going to get 1,000 signed copies out there, maybe 2,000. If it's 2,000, it's even worse because it couldn't be 2,000. But even at 1,000, you just sold. Do the math. 1,000 copies, 250.
I'm also not a signature guy personally.
No, but there's a lot of old dudes that are. So here we go.
No, I know. But if there was like an option to get it not signed, but I don't think there's an option for that incentive. I think they're all signed. I think that's the whole thing about it.
Oh yeah. No, that was the selling point. That was the selling point that you bought 250 copies, so you can
get But you can't get an unsigned one, and that's where I would be interested in. I'd be interested in getting an unsigned one, personally.
You would buy 250 copies.
No. Okay. I'm not going to buy 250 copies of this. I'm going to wait for people to realize this is an over-ordered book and it's going to be a half ratio or something like for sale and be like, well, maybe I'll buy it. It's kind of cool.
There's a lot of people in Arizona that like Spawn. I don't. Maybe they'll get it there. Maybe they can sell it there. I always buy Spawn to sell to suckers. But Detective Comics 1,000, 550,000. Mm-hmm. So that's more. He's got to get about 60,000 more to get up to that number. And those are that's number 7 on the list, or that's number. So that was number 9 and number 7 or number 6 on the list. So that's the quality of books that he's comparing himself to.
It's just
I will also note that Spawn #1 sold 1.75 million copies, and just like that book, there's going to be a time period where you can find this book stuck in boxes, not boxes, long boxes. I'm talking in shipping boxes where they came when people bought them, never opened, and they're going to be at auctions like ones I go to, and it's going to be like, do I have $5? Do I have $3? Will anybody give me $1 for a box of these books? And that's where we're going to stand with it.
Well, even before we get to that point, where you're going to have the sealed shipping boxes, you are going to find this in dollar bins in 3 months. It's not going to be that long. It's going to be a couple of months where overstock. Some guy who bought a storage locker or backdoored a whole bunch of books out of an LCS to go sell at a flea market. It's like, well, I got a whole new load of books, and guess what? I got a lot of King Spawn #1s.
It's on the internet. It's true. No, I mean, this is the thing. I wish maybe a couple of them, and maybe it's just because I do have a little bit of the history on, I've been around for a while. I like it, and nostalgia. I love nostalgia, but it doesn't ever.
I'm with you. It
doesn't defeat the truth. And the truth is, there's a couple guys that gave Lee a hard time, and if it wasn't for Lee, the doors would have shut on Image, and then you wouldn't have had Brian K. Vaughan and Kirkman save Image. And that's the truth of the story. And the rest of the guys who either sold off their properties or were selling toys should be very happy about that revival. Instead of beating their drum saying how they're great they're doing, and then rehashing stuff that killed us in the 90s.
Don't forget Eric Larson.
Yeah,
Just over in his corner, just doing his thing. All quietly by himself.
Minding his own business. No, yeah, I mean, I agree, but like, I just like whenever, you know, I'll give Todd this. His toy line's great, but there's a whole generation. Remember the Click generation I was talking about again? Like, they think Todd McFarlane. That's what they think. He creates DC toys. That's what they think. They have no clue who Spawn is, what Spawn is, and what. This is going to a guy who got a check, and he's going to be able to spend $250, $300 on a signed copy, and there's going to be a bunch of other copies. And it's going to keep. It's like somebody said in the chat, the Berserker, right? Like, and don't get him twisted. Don't get twisted, man. I like my man Keanu Reeves. I love him, dude. I like it. I watch. You know, I watch all John Wicks at all time on any channel, on every channel, whatever. You know what I mean? I like it. But come on, man. I'm not the guy pre-ordered. There's guys pre-ordering that 1,000. Like, that's ridiculous, dude. And those books, you can't burn those books. And did they even come out with number 2 for Berserker yet?
Yeah. They're like at 4. 5 even. Or they finished, I think they finished the first stopping point. I think it was 4.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Whatever it is. Next up. Do you think more? What do you think? What do you think about this? You excited?
With this? No, I don't know. I still collect Spawns just randomly. Like, if I find not because I'm really into reading Spawns, I just know it's like, hey, you find a bunch of certain issues of Spawn for $1 in a box, they're $20 issues just randomly or more because they're hard to find. That's the only reason why I go hunting for Spawns.
Why are they hard to find?
Well,
because nobody was buying Spawn. Nobody was buying died, and Image almost died. So this guy bragging about how great he is.
And that's the thing. There's multiple times. It's like
not once,
It's like first 50 issues, there's plenty of them out there. And there's like, then you get a little lull right after they hit 100.
And then he tried to come out with a movie.
There's some issues to buy. And then it's like, oh, you know what? Then we're going to kill them off. We're going to swap them out in like the 180. It was like 185. We're going to have that whole big deal. And then they drop off again. And like, hey, let's do all these homage covers in like the 220s, thereabouts. And then those are suddenly become, valuable. And then people forget. And it's like they go on churning for a while. And then people retroactively then start going, hey, you know what's hard to find? Those issues in the 250s,
the newsstands and those issues in 250s. And I mean, that's
because they want to complete. And it's like, and they go back hunting, and it's like, yep, it runs.
And then
low,
somebody looks on the internet and sees, and they don't understand it's a newsstand, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, number one's worth $600. No, it's not. I mean, like, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
it's peaks and valleys. It's just peaks and valleys. So that said, that's
he
the
should
last.
Just be happy about how long he's gone through and start coming up with more toys.
That's our last technical news item. Because even though the next one I started off as a news item, it's kind of a little section all of its own. So we could talk about what if a little bit if you want.
We can.
Do you want me to run the thing again?
Yeah. Oh, spoilers? Sure.
Yeah. I mean, because I feel like we have to.
I guess
we're gonna get into this. I'm just gonna run it real fast so you guys. So you have a chance to take a break for a couple minutes.
Spoiler!
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Warning.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Oh my god.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
I'll have to cut like 2 out. I think
I'll cut the peg thing out. You gotta do something with it. You can't have that.
Yeah, maybe I'll cut out maybe I'll cut out Pierce and maybe I'll take out the
no. The cake. What did you think, Pete? I'm not gonna spoil what I thought about this. So what did you think about this?
I liked it. It was entertaining. I mean, it hit a lot of the same beats. Like, I mean, once you got that moment where it switched over, like this was the moment where everything changed, and she hops into the machine. Like, it still played out at first very much like Captain America did. I mean, they even did a lot of the same shots, but at the same time, I thought it was kind of cool.
I started off going, wow, this animation's amazing, right up my style. I love it. It's very beautiful on the eyes, like the whole thing. And then I was like, oh, why are we doing this as our first story? You know what I mean? I wanted to see a little bit more. Then they did the Iron Giant part. Yeah, they did Iron Giant. And I was like, okay, all right. And it was cool to see that Steve Rogers was the same Steve Rogers.
Yeah, you saw it as I was thinking, like, especially when I saw this, I was thinking, it's Big Hero 6 time right here. She's Baymax.
Oh yeah, sure. Big Hero 6, whatever. Iron Giant.
But
Whatever
as you said, we're getting into the spoilers, which I didn't know they were doing this. I mean, it wasn't a huge surprise. But
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean, as it went on, I thought it was cool, but like Captain Britain here, I mean, it was good. I wish they would have done something. With that being said, I'm not the best. Like Avengers is not my jam, right? Like so.
Yeah.
Neither is like Shield. Like I'm not the guy, reading all the Shield comics.
I'm
right,
also
cool.
on board though. I don't know. Like Tover's been saying, it's like everybody's been buying that stupid Exiles book. Where first Peggy Carter is Captain America, but it's like she's like, as you just said, like she's not Captain America here.
Oh, she's Captain Britain 100%. Like
Yeah,
they actually even give her the sword. They actually give her Excalibur.
Exactly. She gets the sword before the end of it, so she's
Yeah,
not
they give her
Captain
Excalibur.
America. If
No.
anything, she's Captain Britain. But
Oh yeah. No, I thought that's what the whole sword was like Excalibur, and that's what they were trying to do there. Which I didn't mind. I thought that was cool. I thought some of that stuff was cool. I thought the Tesseract thing was okay. Her coming through the other side. I just like if this is the first story. Yeah, there's Excalibur.
yeah, and we get the sword.
If this is the first story, the stories better be better because
Well,
the
I
art.
think they did this as the first story because I think they wanted to tie it in a little bit with Loki. Like this is very, very kind of clearly, tied in with that, the variants and different diverging timelines. And I think this is also going to connect. I mean, what do you?
Eric,
do
hold
you
on.
think?
I gotta address Eric's Magna stuff right here. Yeah. I know why he likes a girl being tied up by
The hentai thing?
interdimensional tentacle monster. I get what you're saying there, brother. But I mean, it was good as it went on. It progressed really good, so I can see it. Now I want to see like some of the other ones, and this was the one thing I was very, very disappointed in, and I don't know if they could have done it, but we have the technology for this.
For what?
How you did not make the Watcher's voice Stan Lee?
Oh, well.
Nothing. How you didn't make that Stan Lee post-mortem? Well, probably because the daughter would want $1 bazillion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would have been weird, and
I don't think so. I thought that would have been a nice touch. Well, maybe it would have been weird.
it would have been weird. Like at this point, had this come out, when he if it had started when he was still alive, it'd be one thing. But to do it now, it would. Yeah, I don't know. Might rub people the wrong way. But I think this is the other reason why we had this one is because I joked about this character before when we did our Star Wars stuff. What was it, Vader?
Oh yeah,
Vader 7?
Yeah.
I was like, hey, is that Shuma Gorath?
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I think this is Shuma Gorath finally.
Maybe, but is each one going to be independent? We're not continuing with the story, I hope.
No. I think they're going to be, well, I don't know. I see a lot of speculation on this from, other things out there where maybe this will be a tie-in with, again, Doctor Strange multiverse, and
I don't have
there'll
a
be
problem.
some sort of tie-in with this Shuma Gorath somehow touching into those other universes. I don't know.
I don't have a problem if they do 2 or 3 of these, like little shorts almost, which would be great, and just have like a 25-part season, 30 of these, like keep it going.
No, I think we're talking 10 at most.
Well, 10, what I'm saying is like have like multiple seasons.
Well, hopefully in the other seasons we do something else. Give me actual...
Kind of like Extra and Adventures, right? Just touch on those. Like it kind of each story independently stood by itself, but we're combined together, right? I hope they do something like that. With that being said, I want to see. The only problem is they're not going to put X-Men in here, which is unfortunate because that's the Marvel property I absolutely adore. Is the X stuff. Is this we're? Do you want me to say? I don't think that's that.
No,
You think it's that?
I think it's that. I mean, I know mostly you see him with the big eye, but
It was a mouth.
it was a big mouth. But you can see the other one has a big mouth. The one on the left that there's a big mouth version,
Oh,
and then
maybe.
there's a big eye version. Yeah, it
Oh,
kinda looks like
Pete,
the
you're
Sarlacc
right.
pit.
Somebody give him a pat on the back. He was right. All right. No, yeah, like an anthology. I like it. Yeah, let's do anthologies. Okay. Yeah, a couple stories here. A
Then,
couple
like you
stories
said, then her, and I think that's the other thing. Her now coming into that present,
Mhm.
and being the first Avenger in this universe. Like you got Fury and Hawkeye there. I thought that was kind of cool. But even the voiceover, even Jeffrey Wright's voiceover, I think he said something to the effect of that the multiverse has a new hero.
So what I hope is what I'm saying is I hope down the line, right? So we're going to have the Avengers it's just going to be a different team of Avengers. You know, like all of a sudden we don't have to explain why she's the first Avenger anymore or whatever. I think it was based off the first Avenger storyline, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's why they said first Avenger. But I really hope they get into some of the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, which I think we're going to see. I hope, there's some other space stuff. I hope they bring in some characters. It'd be nice if they brought in like a Nova, or if they brought in the Great Lake Avengers. Wink, wink. Hey, it'd be cool if they did some stuff like that. You know what I mean? It would be really fun.
Cool. But I think they're just going to be standoffish on doing that because they don't want to burn through their IP. Even though people like we would love to see that, I think they're very protective of even like a Great Lakes Avengers because you know what? We could sell this. Like at some point, we could sell this and market this to people, and people are going to buy Squirrel Girl. And,
but I think they have to introduce it. Like they've already introduced Squirrel Girl as another thing, so maybe
they're not going to want to throw it away as a little teaser. They're not going to want to do what DC just did in letting James Gunn off all of those side characters at the beginning.
Well, there's an interesting point we're going to talk about when we get to C-list, but a lot of the characters that he off there's a second character already for him, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
He seems to be offing a lot of people who are still around underneath the same time. All right.
But that was our weekly update. We went a little long because we
went really long. Yeah, okay. All right. Anyways, a 30-second blip, of a character. What does Joe say here? What would you get of multiverse? A 30-second clip of a character. No one is going to fully develop. Yeah, somewhat of a character. I don't know, but there's so Marvel works a little different because you got 616, you got like 1095. That takes one. You've got all the other realms. So I think it would be nice if we could get into some of the like. You're gonna have the zombie one. What are we gonna do? Zombie 1, 2, or 3, right? Like, if you do zombies,
what I think they got to do is they're just gonna have to lean on our general understanding of a character. Like they're not going to retell the origin of Spider-Man when they put Spider-Man in the show. They're not going to retell the origin of.
But you know how they did zombies? Zombies, you just showed up and all of a sudden characters just showed up. They were zombies. That's what you do. You do something like that, like the zombies.
Well, we know we're getting zombies, and we're getting Star-Lord, T'Challa Star-Lord as another one, and
we do know that. Don't know if I like that or not, but we'll see.
Should be interesting.
All right, what do we got next? What do we didn't even go over our lineup.
We didn't even come up with our plan what we were going to roll with next.
Let's go with I don't know.
Tier list. We got the top 5 variants, and we've got the tier list.
And the C list is going to relate a little bit to the tier list, and I think top 5 variants are going to too. So let's go with the tier list so we can cut through some of these quickly. Looking good with the. Oh. Pete, on the screen right now, it looks like you got Harley Quinn's legs. Thank you,
sexy dances for you. We would put strippers into the.
There is, because in the C list there's a stripper. Actually, it's in the tier list too.
And the tier list too. Yeah.
You know how I love to add strippers in, but I get a little deeper in the C list. So, all right,
let me get those out of here.
Let me pull this up real quickly. DC is very interesting. So a lot of these people on this version of the tier list. And it'll be on the C list. The C list is strictly pretty much people who are dead. They died off on the Suicide Squad because that's a common trend of it. There might be a second version of it. And then there's one that it didn't. But, oh, yes, she did. But she's also a stripper. So that's what it is. So those characters are in here. But we also added some big names. So let's see what we've got, Pete. Some that have not died off yet. Let's start off with, I hate this new StreamYard.
You don't like it? That's the thing with the drag and drop is you can move the stuff on the side. You can't add to it, but you can move and reorder the picture.
I don't know how to. Okay. All right. Do we start off with hotness or straight notness?
Whatever ones you want. I named them this time, so this way you can go in and pick whoever you want to talk about. It's not slide 1, slide 2.
Okay. This is somebody who didn't make the C list, but almost did. Almost made the C list. It is Steel. The mechanical suit wearing version of Superman, aka the terrible Shaq movie, Steel. Yes, is that it? Steel. So
that's Steel. It's Iron Man, Superman,
but they called it. Remember the Hammer because he was called John. What's the
John
name
Henry Irons?
Henry. Oh my God, fucking DC.
It's like we'll play off the idea of John Henry, and then we'll just throw Irons in because he's wearing a metal suit. And we'll give him a cape. What's he need a cape for? I don't know. It looks cool.
Yeah. So we're putting him we can't put him in trash, but we're putting him as a character in D, right? Like they actually went away from him. I think this is their first attempt of, well, not first, but this is one of their attempts to mainline a minority Superman because they thought they could do it by making it this way and successful. And it, in my opinion, was an abysmal failure. They should have just done what they did later on, right?
Well, I mean, you got to figure what it was.
When they did Fox's Kid.
This was their opportunity because you also had Superboy. Well, you couldn't do it there. You didn't want to make him the bad guy when you did like Eradicator and then what was it? And Cyborg Superman. Well, he was also a bad guy. They're like two of the 4 replacements were villains.
Well, I mean, he ended up on the Suicide Squad for a little bit. I mean, he wasn't quite a villain, but he was. Yeah, I don't know. I think D's a good place to put him.
Yeah, I just was never a big Steel fan.
I think he would have gone to trash if it wasn't for Shaq. Yeah, played by Shaq. I think Shaq saved him from
that movie was. Oh.
It was terrible. I think he's laughing at your legs. Yeah,
Probably.
D. Okay, D it is. Remember, everybody in the chat, feel free. Just throw up a letter grade if you think we're wrong.
Yeah.
You don't even have to tell us why.
Take a shot.
I
don't see him moving out of D because again, I just
not one who died, by the way. Not a guy who died in the Suicide Squad.
Not a huge Steel fan. I liked his. Was his daughter? Like there was a replacement in action.
I mean, all these guys there is. Okay, Oracle. Probably the best Babs there. I'm not lying about this. Not only probably the best Babs there is, but probably one of the best characters DC ever did. The story arc, what happened when you see her get shot, turning and then bring her back as the Oracle, and the struggle she has to go through. And doesn't she dates a Robin too in the wheelchair at one point? Mm-hmm. Like her whole arc and how tactful and well they did it is something you don't find usually in DC Comics. Usually there's some dumb shit, and we'll get weekly update. We'll get into some of the dumber stuff later.
I didn't know that was going to pop up. I was closing stuff out on my end.
Oh, no, it's all right. And we'll get some of the dumb stuff later, but I think Oracle is S for Oracle, not for Babs, but actually for the character of Oracle. I think is S tier. A. We got some A's. They're not putting her in S. Some A's.
And I thought I was going to have to argue with you on this one. Because, guys, we don't talk about this beforehand. We don't talk about our ratings. I don't even think about this before we start. And we're getting images together. But I thought I was going to have to argue with you about this. But
no, usually when I click the button, I form my
Oracle. I think she was a great character that I think they stumbled into her. I don't think that was like the plan. I think they just lucked into it and did it well and did it right.
Joe gave us our S. It's 3. It's Eric, Ruben, and JJ versus us and Joe. I guess Joe, hey, actually, we're looking for a sub in for Pete next week. I think Joe's going to make the squad.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we got next? If you guys can knock it off. If you don't think it's S tier, go ahead and give us some.
If you want to bring it down to A, you can definitely sell us down to. You can try to sell us down to A. Okay. But I am a big fan.
So I haven't put our first trash can up yet. But I'm going to give it. I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm looking at it here.
This is your trash can shot.
Lady Liberty. Let me remind you, it doesn't matter if it's this Lady Liberty 1, Lady Liberty 2, Lady Liberty 3, 4, or 5. Lady Liberty's...
Yes. I like her flip-flops.
You know her power comes from the torch, right? Like, that's how she powers up, and she uses... just a little backstory on that Lady Liberty, by the way. That Lady Liberty was part of that Justice group, and that was all... it's very funny because when people say that comics got to get out of politics and stop preaching whatever, do remember that group Lady Liberty was pretty much all about how if you become over patriotic sometimes, you can be led by a racist. Like literally the storyline behind them and why she ends up on Suicide Squad and dies in 30. It's not just her because we got the rest of the group in there too. However, I'm not getting on a political message and saying force feeding is the reason I don't like this character. It's just a garbage character, and they had 5 of her, like and you power up to the thing, just garbage. She's just a trash character, just a trash can.
I mean, it's a hard time arguing it. I mean, if we were talking about Ghostbusters 2, Lady Liberty, all right, then we might be talking C, but we're not Ghostbusters 2.
Ruben got in the trash too, yeah. We should reveal the names ahead of time too, just in case some people aren't familiar with some of the characters. She is
drop
trash.
It like in the drop out the tier list.
Yeah, drop out the tier.
We're gonna have.
All right, next up, I'm gold. So remember when I said every DC character is a knockoff of another DC character? If you take a couple DC villains, take a wild guess at which ones, you can throw them together, add a little bit of, a Marvel villain in there too, and you pretty much get Mongol, an alien that's coming to destroy the world, and da-da-da-da-da.
Wouldn't it be like a cyclical knockoff?
It is. Yeah, very silly.
Like, we're knocking off your knockoff of ours.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Well,
you knock off Darkseid with your Thanos, we're going to knock him off again.
And we're going to throw a little Apocalypse in there, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to, then as we develop the character, we're going to steal a little bit of Darkseid and throw him in. Yeah. Okay, so, or Doomsday. Okay, so there we go. That's Mongol, but not completely terrible, but it's got to be a D or C, right, chat?
I would go with C just for power level. Like, power level would allow a skilled writer to do something with him that was important.
Bootleg Darkseid. Yeah, I mean, like, it's D-ish, and I'm trying to keep him out there. He is bootleg C. Joe's saying C. Oh, my God.
I'm also with C. I'm with Joe. I think he has the potential to be in that kind of middle. Yeah, that Black Mercy story wasn't bad. Okay. I think it was during the Jeff Johns run. That was okay.
Well, that's why, because Jeff Johns is the same
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm thinking of. That's what I remember it from.
Clayton, we're gonna get there. We're definitely there. We got the comics portion going, and we're about to get into. Actually, I see the stripper as a matter of fact right now. All right, go ahead. Throw it up there in the C. Give it the C.
Put it in
Miller.
Don't remember, this is
me and Eric are in the D. Me and Eric are D. You and Joe are in C.
This is low middle of the road now.
Yeah, you're right. Fair enough.
Now that we got the D back in the mix.
Kmart Darkseid. That's exactly 100. Give him 100% on that. He's 100% right on that one. Okay, up next. Who should we go for? I actually haven't done any of the D. Okay, because I promised. Oh, this is a great one. This is actually, he's going to make the C list. But the blonde-haired, the funny portion, too, that a lot of these characters have in common is they start having issues with Arrow and stuff like that, Green Arrow. So we'll see this. But the original Count Vertigo, not the second incarnation of
the second one was kind of, it was different. It was a different look. Is that New 52?
That is the New 52.
They redid him.
He has a couple things going for him. He's got a bunch of different teams that he's been on before. He's kind of a nutbag. He's got blonde hair that goes short and then really long. He's got a cape, and he's got nothing more valuable than C. Nothing more valuable than C.
Yeah,
kind of a nutbag. Lost his shit, but held wrong. He's a world finest. Held wrong for a while. It comes out of like almost, that bronze-ish age, something like that.
Yeah, I'm fine with C.
Okay.
You would have said D. I would have been fine with that too.
No, I think he's above a D. That's pretty good.
Like, yeah. A little extra.
Let's not give him too much.
Not gonna give him too much guff.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of guff, actually not a bad character. The name's terrible. He's fucked in the head. Psychopath. He's got. You know what? At one point, he wears the black trench. He's mixed up. This is the problem with some of these DC characters.
This is like, I guess they're super powered version of John Constantine in the sense, but
it was non-mystical and more of like a hoodlum. Yeah. That's a perfect example. And then they just call him Manchester Black.
He's the butcher.
Yeah,
he's the butcher with Quentin Quire's hair, and
I mean, I could put him in the C, D. I know, but I think he's kind of like comfortable C.
Really? I still think I would still put him in that B level just because he embodies all of those things that from the.
That's fair because of the 90s. Yeah, from the 90s, he was the typical 90s. Yeah,
I know why they brought him in. Like it was because of the authority and like all that, which is why I give him a B. Like he just encompasses all of that.
See, that's why I was surprised when Ruben gave him a D. I was like, I don't think that's the right place for him. C, I was okay in with it, but
I think the D was for Vertigo. I think.
He said C for Manchester. Okay, cool. All right.
But I still would bump him a little bit just because
he's a hooligan. Yeah, he is a hooligan.
You need a soccer hooligan every once in a while.
Soccer hooligan. Yeah. B. So I'll give him B. That's fine. Yeah. Fine.
You need to watch a good Guy Ritchie movie every so often.
I almost chose him for the C list, but then I was like, I don't know.
You could have went with that second print for $7.75, right?
Yeah, right. Copperhead. Yeah, so Copperhead, I actually kind of like him because it's the first version of him, and I actually think we're gonna if Gunn ever gets to redo, if he gets another Suicide Squad,
some more.
if he gets to do some more, Copperhead showing up because the classic everybody remember the one cover everybody remembers is when Copperhead's actually a legitimate snake choking the shit out of Batman on a cover.
Yeah.
Is it purple or something like that? Yeah.
I thought about picking that one. I was like, no, I'm gonna go with the Serpentor look one instead of the Snake Man.
Snake Man, I like this character. They actually come up with another one, not as good. He's not as good later on, the remake of this one, because I think this one dies too. But Copperhead, I would have him in the Beast. Like, he was actually a good all around.
I was in that kind of C range, but I'll
put him on B. He had great artists behind him. He had good storylines.
He's definitely a middle of the road guy, not a garbage guy to me.
No, not anywhere close. Definitely story cool. All right.
That is definitely a Serpentor. Oh, no, not the C. I was going for the Joe. Definitely Serpentor.
BBB.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, Ruben's got in the B.
All
Eric's
right.
saying C, but once we get another C, I think we keep him.
I got a D.
For Darth Revan? I mean, Raven?
Raven, the Indian kid who was also part of the Jihad group, is what they called them. There's Team Jihad, I think was the original team he was on.
You sure you're not thinking of Team America?
No.
Durka. No?
I think that's what group he was in. Yeah, it was the early parts of him was a very messed up story.
Yeah. I can.
I mean, we could put him in the trash for all I could
do that too. You want to? I just went with D because you said D, but yeah,
I said no higher than D. Yeah, T. Clayton's got him in T. Trash it is. 2 votes for trash. That's all we need. Trash it is. JJ, trash. Yes. Trash got him good. Yes.
Trash. We're trash.
All right, good. I'm glad I don't have to explain why he's trash.
Yeah, Ruben trash.
Yeah, good. I don't want to get into it. He's trash. All right. They were trying to do something with him. Honestly, it was just like Lady Liberty. They were trying to do something with him and trying to make a statement. And unlike Speedy, when they used him, they did a terrible job at it. So
yeah,
there you go. Garbage.
Yeah, sometimes you make a misstep, you know?
Yeah, it's okay. Everybody does.
You miss.
Wow, I just looked at 2 more pieces of trash, but here we go.
No A's yet. We got 1 A.
I think we're about to get it.
You think so? All
Cayman Chase.
What we got next?
Cayman Chase. The Cayman Chase series is actually kind of cool. And I know what you're going to say is like the main bad guy is like the ripoff of the James Bond, the Jaw character, right? What was his name? What was the name?
Jaws.
Trapjaw or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Jaws. Yeah. And I get that. But like it was like Vertigo. It should have been Vertigo book. Like her series should have been a Vertigo book. I can't remember if Vertigo was out at the time, but it would have been. And that's kind of like what I see Vertigo as. The art style, the storytelling of it. She actually was legit. Dude, when Jaws guy kills the dad and like the blood's dripping out of his like, and then he's like some regular dude, like it's kind of cool. And she was a detective type person. Good. I mean, I think she is just because of that series alone. I think she's 18.
I was just in the B. I wasn't thinking as high as A personally, but
only
you're
because
making an argument. I'm not going to say you're not swaying me a bit with this argument.
Yeah, I mean, I think her relevance is undershot. Like if they would have put her in the Vertigo titles, I think people would talk to her.
Ooh.
Maybe not as well as a Hellblazer. Maybe not as. I'm still pushing. JJ, get out of here.
Clayton too.
All right, put her in the B. All right. I just like her better. I'm gonna might do a little segment on her.
You should have sold her as DC Jessica Jones or something, and maybe you would have won more people over.
Yeah, but she had to deal with like it wasn't the Purple Man crazy.
No,
yeah, it was like it was cool. I don't know. Either way. All right, so they got the C's on there. There we go. All right. We still haven't got anybody in there yet, have we?
No.
All right. Well, let's see. Oh, I got somebody who's got a shot, but I'm not gonna. Maybe we'll do somebody everybody knows. Here we go. Black Adam. Oh, you did this picture. I thought we were gonna get The Rock. All right.
I thought about doing The Rock, but
Tough Guy Shazam. What else you gotta say about Black Adam, Pete? Hey,
it's The Rock.
It's The Rock. Hey,
I can't wait for The Rock movie.
We're not going S, right? I'm not even. You're going S? No, sir.
Oh, come on.
Come on. Just because it's The Rock.
Well, not
I
just
love
'cause
The
of
Rock.
I mean, also Black Adam. He was a tough guy. He had a whole country. They kind of made him like with the New 52. They kind of made him the DC Doctor Doom. They gave him a nation. What was it, Kahndaq? Like they kind of gave him that.
I know we're going wild on like the prereqs of this. We can include comics and stuff, but like let's try to keep it to roughly around the time he was in the Suicide Squad, which would be before the New 52.
Yeah, I know. They made him tough.
Technically, there's years that I put on this title, and the years I put was not.
He didn't show up. I mean, he was what in Marvel Family 1 or whatever the heck it was back Golden Age, and then didn't show up again till the 80s.
James just comes in. I got a couple A's. I'm looking good, and then James just goes baseball bat to the back of the head. No, we got 3 A's and 2 S's now.
I was with James.
Yeah,
but I'm fine with an A.
He does have the proper A for
you. If we're gonna go, if you're gonna give me that qualification thing, if we're thinking back with
Suicide Squad. Okay, A it is. I think A is a good spot.
I will be fine with that. Then he's just more of, hey, let's a superpowers, Super Friends. Like, we'll do the Super Friends. He's just the evil Shazam.
Evil Shazam. That's what I kind of call him.
And that's all we're gonna get. Like, that's all.
Right, solid A. He is a solid. You almost got me though, because I was willing. If we had one more S, I would have. But now we've got 3 A's, 4 A's, 5 A's. So
plenty of A's. That's fine. I was hoping. I have high hopes for The Rock, and like I said, I liked what they did revamping him. I guess.
So the next 2 I kind of have to do together. We should have done all 3 of these together. Silent Majority.
Well, there are 3 of them.
A Major Victory. Yeah. Well, we already put Lady Liberty in there, and that was the team. These 3 were the team. Well, Major Victory actually had Cradle.
Look, go back to the other picture. You can see him in the background. Look.
Oh, yeah, there's Lady Liberty on the left. Yeah, you're right. All 3 of them are there. I'm going to say more. First off, Silent Majority was the worst, arguably the worst out of the 3. Okay, at least Major Victory when, like, Lady Liberty's dying, he cradles her before he blows up. All 3 of them, they're supposed to be like, yeah. Is anybody not arguing? I don't even think I have to argue with that.
So it was just the 2,
the
right?
Trash can is filling up tonight. Did you just say S for S tier? Joe, we're not, no shot those are going in the S tier. No, yeah, trash, dumpster fire. Thank you. It is a dumpster. Oh, no, S show, I think. Is that what that's supposed to be? It's like S show, which means I think that's what he's saying. I hope that's what Joe's is saying. I
got what you're saying.
Yeah, I think they were bad. Okay, good. We got all the trash out. It's trash day, and I think we've taken it out.
Yeah, I guess.
Guess what? There could be some more.
I don't know, maybe.
All right, let's go here. Of course, we have to have another character in a leotard with a devil's tail. There's more than one of Strikes. This is Vanessa Kingsbury, I think was her name. Kingsbury.
Wolverine's haircut.
We're going to talk about her on the C list. She's got some interesting stuff. They kept putting religious. She's C at best. I mean, she's a C. She's on the C list. I mean, she's a C list.
Yeah, I was in that D kind of area, but all
right, go ahead. You can put her in D.
Yeah, I'm fine with C. I think she was on the team for a while. So she
was for a long time. It made a ton of covers.
I could give her that C bump.
Probably through
as far as like
70 or 80
goes.
Yeah. She had a religious aspect to her. She's kind of like Wolfsbane too on that. I think Marv. I actually think Marv had some stuff to do with her too. So it was kind of like the same character.
No, Joe.
Okay.
I mean, we got a C minus, which I think that's where I was at too, Joe. I was in that C minus kind of range, but
I'll give her a C.
We got a couple of C's. Clayton and
he's got an iffy C on that too. All right, fair enough. Little iffy C. Appreciate it. By the way,
just like a filler kind of character in a sense.
We appreciate everybody helping us out in the chat too, man. We really do. This is what makes this fun. All right,
we're sitting here on a Wednesday night talking about these 80s Suicide Squad.
90s Suicide Squad. All right. I'm still waiting to get this. I'm going to leave the stripper for the end because that'll play us right into it.
She's on the bubble.
All right. I will give us this character. I think is going straight to the penthouse because in this era of Suicide Squad, that 89, 90, whatever era, Poison Ivy made her appearance in the Suicide Squad. and I think Poison Ivy is the definition of an S tier character. If there is one in this group.
Yeah, out of this bunch, absolutely. Well, actually, out of most. Well,
I think in most. I think out of DC total is what I'm saying. Like,
well, it would depend. If we had just a Batman villains tier list and we were doing that,
oh yeah,
then I would have to start qualifying.
close,
Well,
yeah.
she's not with the joke. You know what I mean? Like, then she would be maybe A.
it'd be Air. Well, if you did like
at
Bronze Age Air, like like late Silver, early Bronze Age Air villains, you could probably get it. Like,
But yeah, she is
S tier as far as this. I think they're all saying S. Let me see what they say. Yeah, S.
Yeah,
S,
it would
S.
have. I mean,
Suicide Squad S, 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 easy S. Yes, A plus.
we're not
A+.
talking about Uma Thurman's performance.
Oh yeah, Clayton's got a good point. A plus for general overall, and then yes, S for Suicide S. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, if we were talking about Uma, then we'd have a problem.
Okay, another C list
Well,
member
thank
because I
you.
have what?
I was just doing my Uma Thurman impersonation from.
Well, I like her
Batman
first
Robin.
appearance too in the book that she's in and everything like that. But like, comic wise, this is another person I put on the C list, and I put him on there specifically because he wears vests with no sleeves on his shirts.
It's a
I
cool
like
look.
that. Cool.
You could have all these pockets. You can put things in them.
That's how you draw
Hide things.
feet and pockets. I'm
doing my Elena Belova when she's selling her vest to Natasha.
perfect ratio. So this is Adam Cray as the Atom. There's a lot of cool stuff with this character. This is a character that does die, and he dies a pretty awesome DC death. The one thing I'll give DC is DC either does the worst job ever, just like of it, you can't figure out how they actually died. It's like a blow up like thing and somebody crying, or they do something so idiotically amazing that it blows your mind. And I don't want to spoil this, but I kind of do.
Like shoving Green Lantern's girlfriend into a refrigerator.
Yes, like shoving Green Lantern. yes. or a gigantic nail going through you, like 60-foot nail. So I have him in the C. We can see what everybody else has to deal with him. He was pretty good. So he took over for the main. So the main Atom at the time was actually going undercover. He took over for the main Atom at a time, and then he ended up getting killed. Yeah.
I was right in that kind of CD kind of range.
Well, he made the C list.
I can make the C. I could give you that.
Never understood Nintendo, but no sleeves. Right? Yeah, I don't get it, Joe. I don't get it. All right.
A lot of times, the upper
not
half
neutral.
gets warmer than the bottom half. You
Uh,
can do shorts or pants, and you really won't change your feeling of heat. But if you're wearing long sleeves or short sleeves, he just needed the pits to be for free.
all right. Another filler, Bolt, who then like changed like 3 or 4 times. This is the 52 Bolt.
I thought this was just a mashup of like what was it? The Ultimates. It was like Owlman, like the Ultimates Owlman, and
Yeah.
Punisher, and
Well, he wasn't really like Punisher. He's like
no, just the
speed
skull. I'm just saying, just taking the designs.
and like he had like 15 different like. Yeah, I mean he's D. He's not quite trash. You know what I mean? But
I think I don't know.
oh, you think he is?
I might prefer the little dog Travolta version of Bolt over this Bolt, but I'd give him a D. We'll give him a
I
D.
think I think he's D.
He's got a rogue jacket. Can't say
All right.
jacket 'cause it's not a trench coat, but he's got like the rogue 90s leather.
I'm not. So this guy dies all the time and comes back. Chemo. He's been a decent villain. I have him on the C list. He's another C list character, but so I'll get in more of it then. But yeah, he's pretty much a radiation poisonous. What was the guy you talked about earlier? Hero 6?
Oh, Baymax.
Baymax. Yep, that's what he is. He's the chemical version of
I
that.
can see that. Yeah, I can see that a little bit. Again, I had him in that kind of like D.
Yeah, I don't think you get. I don't think you can put him in B. I don't
No,
think you can put him in B.
no, I
I
can't
think
do
you
that.
put
No,
him
I
in
said like CD kind of range.
C or D, yeah. I mean, because he came back and fought so many times, they did come up with a second version when his original version disappeared. He's still
I also
around.
just kept thinking I was looking at Radioactive Man from Thunderbolts. I thought I pulled this image and we were doing Thunderbolts again.
Is that Glooper Gleep? Oh, D. They got D. They got D. You got to move him to D. Maybe they'll change their mind
Eric,
after C list. Eric and
All right.
Ruben got him in the D's.
I was right in that kind of range. I was right in that
It's on that
side range.
Let me cheat to see what we have. Okay, we're going to do King Shark
We got
next.
2 left.
We're going to do King Shark next. Is he taking a dump or is he reading a book?
Yeah, I think he's doing both.
Doing both. Very good. I don't think King Shark would have been popular till the Suicide Squad movie. I mean, I'm not saying not bad, but I'm saying CB-ish. But it was Suicide Squad movie, and we do have and then I think you have to move maybe up to the BA range now, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if we're going off of like,
you can call him Baracus. I think that's where he's at.
The movie aspect puts him up here.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
But before the movie, and I will say even before just the movie, I feel like he got a little bit of a bump when he showed up on Flash. Like it was like, hey, let's give this character, and because they actually did well, it was like good CG for a CW show.
Okay,
like when they actually had him on there. But the
CB area,
yeah. Before then, when he was like, it looked like he was wearing wrestler tights.
Yes,
like he was wearing like the onesie that they gave Keith Lee. Like, yeah, it was not great.
I think you have to put it. So I think you have to put. I think it's between B and A where we're at right now.
No, I'm with you. I stuck him in the A just because there was a big gap in the A. I felt like he kind of fit right in there. And even though I didn't know Stallone was going to do his voice, I thought it was going to be the Stephen Agee was supposed to be his voice, but whatever.
All right.
Stallone do it.
He said the Harley animated show. Okay, put him in A. I think we can put him in A.
Okay.
I think we can put him in A.
I'm not going to argue with that.
He does go toe to toe with Superboy. Yes. Okay. He does. All right. Put him in the A.
Even in his little,
So while we're talking about strippers, while we're talking about things that might have to do with strippers, Knockout. So she is from a different planet. She's one of the say they're whatever they are.
Titania? No,
the Napoleons or whatever. The chicks that come down and always fight Wonder Woman. But she did start off isn't it the Boom Boom Room? We'll get more into it. Like that's where we first see her.
I think she was in the Bada Bing.
Oh, the Bada Bing. Okay, whatever. The Bada Bing Room, the Boom Boom Room, whatever it is. She has an amazing
I think
death.
It is the Boom Boom Room. I think you're right. I think it's the Boom Boom Room.
She has an amazing death too. She's around for a long, long time. I think they bring her back to life, as a matter of fact.
I thought when I first saw the name, I thought it was the Vertigo version of Knockout, which was like a model or something. Like, I don't know. It was a whole run. It was a different character.
And speaking of people who knock out Superboy, she knocks clears his clock, dude. Knocks him the shit out. So I have her BA too. I have her B. If they bring her into, I think they could do something really fun.
Big Bada Boom.
Big Bada. Is that what it's called? Big Bada Boom?
No, I think it's Boom Boom. But we're mixing it together.
I think you could put her B or A. Yep. I mean, I have her in the C list, but I think she's a little bit better than a C list character.
Yeah. I think she's kind of in that middle, better middle though.
Don't worry, Joe. We got some good pictures coming later for you. We'll see. B it is.
Well, it's red.
Oh, that's an S. All right. Okay, so that's our tier list. And once again, we'll post it later. You guys can change it around. We've never once changed the tier list around. Oh my gosh, we didn't even do pickups because I still, for the third week in a row, have to do box 2. But we could do that next week. We'll do box 2 next week, maybe, or something. Or no, because you won't be here.
I won't. So if you want to do it, you can.
No. Let's keep going. We're already an hour and 18 minutes. We've got some time.
All right, let's keep rolling then. All right. Do you want to go with C list first, or do you want to do variants?
Well, we might as well do C list since we talked about all the characters right now, right?
Yeah. You kind of you use some of that as your arguments to keep some of these people in the middle.
So let's go into share screen and see if I can. One of these days, I'm going to shut this whole thing down and people. No,
we're fine. We're fine.
I know, but I don't know. Select a window. Nope. Okay, I'm going to screw everybody's face up right quickly to allow this, and then I'm going to stop sharing that, and then I'm going to try to go back in and share again. Yeah. SS Death and Strippers is the title of this one. Allow. All right, the C list. It's not the A list. It's not the key list. It's not the. Well, it is the key list. It's just not the best of characters of all times. Yeah. This is the one so everybody remembers. Hey, you see these in dollar bins, which almost all these do show up in dollar bins. Are a little cheaper than you think they are. You can pick them up every once in a while. These are books that I look, and so you remember the covers when you're digging. First off, we get Count Vertigo, the first one, not the second one. I picked this book up not for Count Vertigo's first appearance. I actually collect the Creeper.
I was going to say you collect the Creeper.
I do. I collect the Creeper. More specifically, Creeper covers. So when he's on the cover. So I collect this. There's some great World's Finest Creeper covers since he's on there. By the way, isn't that the character, the tentacle character that came through the
That's
Suicide
Shumagorath. Yeah.
Shumagorath, yeah.
Or what was it in Darth Vader? I can't remember what it was called in Darth Vader. It was the Red Death, Red something,
whatever.
Like that.
So really, he has to do with a Green Arrow storyline in this one. Now, this guy does die, mind you. This is Warren Vertigo, or no, the second one's Warren Vertigo. This is Warren Vertigo. The second one's Warren something else. Either way, it's a $5 book at best, but you can find it in the dollar bins all the time. I think these things in really good shape, though. If you can find them in like really, really good shape, $10 to $20 isn't range, but you shouldn't be paying more than $5 for these books.
No. I know a lot of you are probably like me. Like once you start hitting those packs of like, you start flipping through a box and it's like World's Finest and like the Jimmy Olsens and the Superboys, you just speed through because like I don't care. I don't care what's in here.
I know that, but like for these, and they're kind of funny. Like this is like right up the realm that even if they don't use gun and if they go that route of Suicide Squad, because these are the characters that die off, but they have some like when they had Boomerang doing stuff like this is a guy that could stick around for a little bit.
Well, no, that's what I mean. This gives you a reason to slow down and actually
find this
through that part. Like when you hit World's Finest, now you have a book to look for. Because again, I would just speed through.
For $1, man.
Now it's something to flip through.
If for $1, I mean it's a good book for $1. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the second one. So that was War. So this is Warner Vertigo. This one is Warner Zytel. This is the guy that actually shows up on Green Arrow, the TV show, the other version of it. And this is his first. I just put that in there because a lot of these other ones I have like their death slide or their stripping scene. So I wanted to give you a little something else. This is a $1 book here. And 52, kind of irrelevant. It is Jeff Lemire. We already talked about him once. So there you go.
Well, you never know. Like if we get an announcement that we're getting James Gunn's going to do another Suicide Squad and Count Vertigo's like confirmed, this is the type of book that, well, which one is it? And people,
it's going to be this one. It's going to be this one because this one's already on Green Arrow. It's kind of funny because there's a lot of these characters, and you saw some of them in the Suicide Squad right now that were like they used them in something else. They used the secondary version of them in something else. Also, a reason why I kind of did these characters this week. So, Shrike, the 1950s to 2011 version of the mainstream. Not really
third person.
Whatever. Yeah. But she's got a glorious death too. The blood coming out of the nose. This is why I picked her. And I'm coming, Jesus. She does have a little bit of a religious aspect to her. I'm coming, Jesus.
Why does she believe in Jesus? She looks like an alien.
She dies. Because I really think it was kind of like the Wolfbane type character. Like that's kind of, she's like a hard, you know what I mean? It's like the same type of thing.
So it wasn't just the haircut that they gave from Wolfsbane. They also gave her the overly religious aspects as well.
Oh, that's what it says. She's in the same universe from 2000, so till the New 52. But she first showed up in 85 in Justice Leagues of America 235. Also a book that all the time goes over, like people just.
Yeah, this is a book you flip past.
But if you got $1 for you, make her holler, pick her up. There you go. Oh,
no,
this is also
that $1.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But a fine point of so there she is on the cover too, looking like Wolfsbane, right? Or no, is that yes? That's her.
Connecting cover?
Yeah, it's so. This is why, Pete. I knew you love connecting covers.
I do. I'm fascinated by the idea that
I would like to tell you, there's 4 connecting covers. If you're there, why not make a negotiating deal? If you need to get 5 books, you can buy something else. But here, get these 4 real quickly. There is DCU variants of these. But it's a connecting cover. It connects with
Psycho Pirate too. The golden mask. Going between
I believe so. Yeah. So that's actually where that corner is right there. Right?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking before when I saw the half face. I was like, looks like Psycho Pirate.
And the top is the rest of it and jumping off. Yeah. So and for some reason, even though they're connecting, her face is down on the lower book in the left corner, and then up top too, and getting punched and Wonder Boy and Yep. Isn't that cool?
I'm going to start looking for these tomorrow in dollar bins because
there you go.
I like a good connecting cover.
I knew you did. So there it is. There's a connect. No, Pete, I'm dead serious. Like, the only one foreshadowing though on the connecting cover, which is kind of messed up for this connecting cover. If you look very close, they're actually supposed to kind of sit on top of each other and cross off the nameplate. Like the ears for the top isn't supposed to go through the middle. You know what I mean?
I got it.
Either way, there you go. There is a secondary version of this. I wanted to give a Hawkeye one that you guys should pick up just in case. And it's Boone. He has the same name as her and it's a little bit more of an assassin.
I did see this guy.
Mm-hmm. So Boone, it's actually a pretty decent book, but if you're digging through Hawkeye 12 centers, like number 11 is probably one to grab. It does have the electrifying shriek up there. So it says introducing. That's a way to know about it. Might not be something you always find in the 5 and under buns, but you can still find it in pretty good shape.
Strikes at night.
He does. Yeah. Yeah. So that's his first appearance in there.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go. That's another one.
Hawkman has a Captain America shield there, and
he's got wings. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look, lightning
fighting Batman wearing
nobody buys Hawkman. I mean, except for the
no, they don't.
I'm just trying to
doctor.
Yeah. So this would be easy to find because like people don't even dig through Hawkman to find anything. So you can find these for $1, and I'm like $10 to $20 legitimately. This book in good condition does sell for. That's a legitimate like to this day thing. So next up, I gave it away already. Next up, we got our man.
I think we probably could have guessed. You look at I
just spilled
flight attendant Captain Boomerang teabagging Flash there. You're gonna go. This is a $1 book if I ever saw one.
It's Suicide Squad 44. And you're right. Captain Boomerang is teabagging Flash at a carnival, which has got a Captain Boomerang booth at it. And guess who shows up? My man, Adam Craig, as the Atom. Now, listen, this is a story with Adam Craig. He's also got one of the magnificent deaths of Suicide Squad members.
And a sweet vest.
He does have it, maybe. You can find this book for $1. But here's his death. He gets killed by this cowboy guy by the name of Black Snake. Yes, that's his name. For the belt. By the way, just to steal his belt. Well, I actually thought it was somebody else.
I was going to say, that's a pretty sweet belt that he had on, too.
Yeah, but do you see what he stabs him with? By the way, I'll say there's a lot of covers with this.
Nail?
Yes. Adam Craig's got like huge screws and stuff, but he kills him with a gigantic nail to steal his belt.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, he did think he was raped.
How in these comic books, this nail is sharp enough to go through his body, but not that black t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go through the t-shirt.
Well, he thought he was Ray Palmer, the Adam Ray Palmer, who's actually undercover. That's why I didn't want to give that away earlier.
I got you.
So he stabs him with this gigantic nail and kills him for the belt so he could grow tall. So that's funny. Next up is Chemo.
Yeah, I think Clayton's got it right there.
What do you say?
No words. You don't need words. You just got the emoji of the...
I can't see the chat.
Oh, here. This is what the emoji is of. Ready?
Yeah. Well, I have to stop sharing. I don't know if I want to do that.
There you go.
All right. I'll look at it later. I'll go back and read the chat later. But tell me if they say
it's just
cool.
the head. It's the face plant. It's the...
Yeah. Well, I can't see anything at all besides the screen with the shape.
I got you. That's
so next up is Chemo. And if you know anything about me,
that name, I think the name just gives it a negative connotation.
But I want
a sad place when I think of this guy's name.
I love finding Showcase Presents, because it's always usually the Silver Age stuff, and even some of the. That's why I like the Creeper too. But like books that are under $50, and that usually sell if you get them graded for $200 to $300. And Chemo's one of these. Everybody does this as the third appearance as Metal Man, but actually it's the first of Chemo. So they skip over it all the time because what's the third appearance?
Who's collecting third appearances?
Hey, Silver Age, that happens a lot. It does.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, think about third appearance of Flash. Third appearance of Flash is like a $10,000 book if you get it high enough grade. So in the middle grades, it's like a $3,000, $4,000 book. So
yeah, but is it because it's the third appearance or because it's the Silver Age? You know what I mean?
Well, that's it because it's Silver Age. Yeah.
Like that's a different reason. It's like, yes, Giant Size X-Men is the third appearance of Wolverine, but are you buying it because it's the third appearance of Wolverine, or because it's Giant Size X-Men #1, which is also Wolverine joining the X-Men,
Fair enough.
Nightcrawler, first, all the other things that go with it.
There's no other. There's no other. People. I think if you get the CGC case, it might not even say first Chemo on it. It might
that's
actually
kind of disappointing. That
third appearance of Mental.
Well, I don't get the third.
I don't think people.
Overstreet book.
Right. Yes, I think that's why. I think because when you used to fill out your forms for CGC, people would fill out. They'd go to Overstreet and
they'd write through the Overstreet, whatever it said.
Okay.
I got you. All right.
So from now on, fill out your form and put first chemo on this one.
First chemo.
And it isn't a flashback, but you could get them. A lot of them, we always talk about that like sweet spot grade of like the 5s to the around the 7s. You're talking about the very fine pluses, very good plus, whatever.
Cover's still attached. Maybe
good shape. You have some spine ticks. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you're talking
spine ticks. It's fine. Maybe a quick little, maybe a little fox, a little bit of foxing. I don't know.
Yeah, FN to V. It depends on how much FN to VF, pretty much in that area. You know what I mean? And it's for 50's high for it. It's probably under that. You can get for $40 still. You can definitely talk them down to 35 probably because nobody they're gonna be like, oh, you really love. Yeah, I collect Metal Man, and I wanted his 3rd appearance.
You could probably also sell it to or people might be looking for the big hand collectors, like people who collect those big hand covers or big foot covers.
Well, I'll tell you
there's weird collectors out there.
I will tell you this. Recently, like within the last 6 months, an 8.0 did sell this book for $280. So if you can find this for, $30-$40, do know there are people who will collect it, especially if you get it slabbed. Either way, yeah, I think it's a cool book. If you're like me, you like the Silver Age first appearances. Yeah, it's got one in it. So there you go. And then finally, our stripper knockout. Pleased to meet you. See, she pounded Superboy there, huh?
Yeah,
she is
going to town.
She's at Superboy 1. Everybody goes after 0, and then like was it 9 because of Shark?
Well, yeah, because 0 has a tease of King Shark, and 9 obviously, which we'll get to in a minute.
So now this book, I put $5. That's generous. I wouldn't pay $5 for this. I pay $1.
Yeah,
I pay $1 for this book. You'll find it for $1. Nobody really cares about.
Get $2 if you got to go $2.
Superboy looks ridiculous with the way he looks, but
you don't like the boots, with the leather jacket.
Yeah, sure. It's not the hair that looks ridiculous. There's the circle glasses and the earring, with the leather jacket. But either way, so that's $1 bin book. Here it is, the Boom Boom Room. There it is. So, what do you think? Kay was her nickname. She's at, by the way, Honolulu's Chinatown, just off the hotel street. XX Bucks. XX Bucks is over there. Yeah, no, I swear to God, this is in a book. This is in that book.
I'm reading it. It says,
show tonight, Triple X. There's more in here. Next to a pawn shop. You go inside.
I love this.
Number 2.
The sailors really sell it.
No, this is number 2 now. So this is also number 2 because I want to show the sailors with a fistful of dollars. DC actually did this. Yes, knocked out the long legs there. The sailors are in the background she's like, knock it off. She throws somebody out. And then they go in here and look. I mean, just look at the other strippers.
Peek of the back room.
Maybe $5 when you could probably get it for $1. I mean, 5's high, but there it is. Oh, she dies a horrible death too, by the way. Yeah, they rip out her heart. Like a guy rips out, like, so she gets involved with a girl. I'm not gonna get in the whole thing, but she's involved with somebody else, and then she goes out to go whatever, because she kind of turns some of the bad, some of the good, and then you
look real fast. It looks like Poison Ivy.
Yeah, she's huge though. Like she's like 60 feet tall. Yeah. She's very tall. And they rip her heart out and leave her there. This is actually a beautiful panel when you see it in whatever.
Yeah, and it looks just like that.
Well, no, it looks like this. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's a beautiful panel. Yeah. Do you see the spike on the arm? That's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Blood everywhere. They did a great job of her on top of like the sewer crack. So. That's not this book at all. That is, I don't even know. I think it's Bird of Prey 109 is her death. So if you're looking for that, that's probably $1 bin or $2. All right.
There's not a lot of Birds of Prey books.
Oh, I could have just done this. There, I could have looked at the comments. Okay, so that's it. She's dead there. And that's what I got for the C list. Hope you all enjoyed it. There is a DC. Yes, there's a DCU variant of those Superboy books.
Which
is she thick? Well, she's also like 12 feet tall or 8 feet tall. So yes, she's thick, and yes, she's tall. There's nothing wrong with that.
She's proportional, but
Joe, if you want me to go back to making the dollar bin, y'all things, I didn't know which one you guys like better. We're trying to test out a new way. Do you want me to go back to the jokey stuff? Because I was gonna start off with the $50, but they get hollows.
Twins.
We didn't have any 20s this time, but yeah, I decided to go the regular route. We might switch it up just to keep it a little bit different.
You could have put a G unit in there because I think you had a 50 spot in there.
Oh yeah, I did. I had a 50 for the because of that Metal Man book. If you get it, like I'm telling you, you find that book. That's a good book. You know what? That's a good book for,
right?
Yeah, the chemo one. That book's a good book to learn because you're not going to actually overpay for it because you're never going to pay more than 50, like you're going to pay $50, $60 to learn what it takes to grade a book in that age and what mistakes they'll accept. Those are perfect ones to go out there. And if you got yourself $100, you go buy 3 of those and you personally look through it and think what the grade's going to be and what you see, submit it. Maybe I'll try to buy a couple of those. And then, but it's tough because I've done that before where you try to show them over the screen, then submit it and come back and you'll at least get your money back plus a little something for those. So, I mean, that's not one that's already high and people are searching for. It's at its low point. So, is she wearing Legion of Doom armor? No.
I got my legs back.
Oh, nice. You did get your legs back. Awesome. So good. Yeah, it is. It's good for grading education. DC Silver is one. I mean, some of the best people I know at grading, like DC Silver, Joe's not lying. He must know. DC Silver is probably one of the best places the ways to learn. And then after that, you can go into some of the other stuff. So there we go. That's it. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Creeper lover. I know the Creeper.
Get rid of the sexy legs for a second.
We should do a profile on the Creeper, like the top 10 Creeper books one time.
You want to do the Creeper?
Well, he's like the better version of a Joker. Like when they keep using the same thing a Joker all the time. Like he's a knockoff Joker that like they should have just taken Joker and converted him into the Creeper. And like if you're gonna do the 3 Jokers,
I was confused the Creeper with Ragdoll.
Oh, okay.
From Secret Six.
Ragman or Ragdoll?
I can't remember. No, not Ragman. Not the Ragman with the green with the like the Ragdoll. Like it looks like it's actual doll. Like he's just Ragdoll. He was in the Bane like Secret Six with Catman and can't think of her name. Anyway.
There's like 2 characters there that were in the Secret Six. Okay, either way,
this is the Secret Six kind of and Suicide Squad. They kind of
Secret Six, Suicide Squad, check, Chessmate, checkmate.
All kind of bleeds together a little bit.
It does. It absolutely does. So, but maybe we'll get to checkmate characters too. Who knows? I think we've got one more. I think we could do X-Men next week, or we still have to get back to Moon Knight, or we could do more.
Moon Knight when I can't do it.
Oh yeah, I don't. Maybe I'll do Team Up X-Men. I don't know. Hey, by the way, feel free to leave in the chat or underneath somebody we should have as a co-host next week because we actually need a substitute co-host for Pete next week.
Yeah, so I'm not 100% that I can do it yet because I will be in a different internet area. I
have some ideas. I'm going to make some phone calls, but I'd like to hear who they think we should use, and maybe we'll even use the fan. You never know. Could be a turn up.
I'm fine with whatever you decide to do.
Because
it will still be the totally awesome, coolest show ever. And I got it right this time.
See, JJ Maxwell knows me too well because he says who's going to win, Freakazoid or Creeper, because he knows I like weird characters. Yeah. We're not going into
Nothing wrong with that.
Cool. Sacred Jedi text. I'm glad. That's what's kind of me about is just us talking back and forth in like an area where we're trying not to be too arrogant.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes
that's
that
the
way.
thing. We're just talking comics. We're just having fun. Nobody's trying to be, I know everything or, because you're giving me all these books. I didn't know anything about like a lot of these books. Yes, I do dollar bin digging all the time, but I still don't know everything. I just know what I know.
Oh, and by the way, like some of these too is like, I mean, I said it the other day when I was going through like the pickups, like some of these are like, I've been picking up books and like, why am I picking up this effing book? Like, and somebody will tell me why I'm picking it up. You know what I mean? You just kind of forget it. And,
it's something that gets stuck in, and it's things like this that gets a book stuck in your head. Be like, why do I know this cover with the big hand and the metal men? Like, why am I buying this for $5? Because it's a $50 book. That's why you're buying it for $5.
See, and that's
brain. You subconsciously remember this book is something you should be grabbing at that price.
And it's kind of like the opposite of the Hot 10 list, and not to knock the Hot 10 list or anything like that, but sometimes you see those books and you like, that's kind of why somebody asked me like, why don't you watch the Hot 10 anymore? It's like what was happening was the Hot 10 was getting stuck in my head, right? Like if it wasn't a book I had sold, it was getting there, and then you're picking up a book that's $1 book now, but at one point was hot and it's probably not going to go back up. You know what I mean? So like, try to do something a little different with it. Thank you, JJ. I'm glad you learned something new every week. All right, I'm going to run real quickly. You do the intro for this, and I'll be right back.
All right. So I'm going to intro our next segment, our top 10. Oh, not top 10, top 5. Where is it? But we're not doing it on a budget. I know last week we did Suicide Squad on a budget. This week, we're just doing variants. All right. I'll give Marco a second to come back. But basically, yeah, what we're going to do here is we did the top 10, not top 10. I keep saying top 10 because we're talking about top 10, so I'm now saying top 10. The top 5 variants on a budget, we did that last week, which was difficult enough. This week, I decided to just do variants. No money restrictions. And some of these are expensive. I will freely admit that. Some of these are expensive variants, but I figured, you know what? We should talk about these too, because some people like to buy expensive books, or some people like to know what the expensive books are. So even though we do a lot of things on the cheaper end with the C list, with the top 10, top 5 variants on a budget, things like that, that's where I live. I live in that cheaper book range. That's why I do dollar bin digging. I'm always hunting cheap books because that's what I like to buy, what I like to collect, what I like to spend my money on. But you still kind of need to know the expensive books, so when you see them underpriced, you still know to act. Like, don't just run away and be, oh man, that book's $50. Yeah, it might be $50, but that's a $300 book that's only $50. That's the time you need to act. You just need to know prices, values, and all of that, just to be aware of it. That's all this is. All of this is about awareness, just being aware of different types of books. I was just filling time, Marco, while you were gone, just going over my collecting and money spending.
Yeah, Joe, you're good too.
Not on a budget. We're not talking about budget books, but like I said, I felt like people still need to know some of the more expensive books as well, just so you're aware of them in case you stumble upon them when you're out there hunting in a box or at a shop or a show. Yeah, Django stepped in for a second there.
Yeah, the hot 10 really is what you should have sold already. Like, I agree with Joe. Joe's got a lot of good points out there today. So
yeah, and that's the whole point. Like, I know Stein, and that's the thing. It's not that hot 10, any hot 10 list, and particularly the CBSI hot 10 list. It's not a buy list. You should not be buying.
Yeah,
at those prices.
Especially that one. I was talking in general on those, and I wasn't knocking them. Like, and I like what Stein does. I've defended 100 times. But you should be happy when your book that you sold gets on that list. Is kind of how I always put it.
Yeah, because that's
and he knows that, and that's what it's about. That's 100% what it's about.
Exactly. That's entirely how he researches it. He's not speculating and saying, "Hey, go look for these books." This is what's sold. So what's sold? It's not too late, but this is where we're at. Things are selling now. So if you don't already have it, don't be buying at those prices. Same thing with this list I'm about to give you. I'm not telling you to be buying at these prices. This list that I'm about to present to you is not a list to say, hey, I think these are all great buys that everybody should be acting upon right now. I'm just looking at some of the more expensive variants related to Suicide Squad and where they're priced at and where they're selling at right now. Just so you're aware. So if you can find it at a cheaper price, then you act.
Yeah.
Don't go out there hunting like, oh, look, this book's $100.
Oh, yeah, this isn't the bargain. Yeah, this isn't the bargain.
This is not a bargain. Yeah, these are expensive, these ones.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Yeah, and we got to see what we got. So, starting off our list, we are going to go, where the heck is my list?
I didn't look at this list, so I'm excited. I want to see this.
I got to get a presentation. It's not going. Well, let's see if it lets me go this way. All right, yeah. Oh, I don't know why it still says it's a budget. It should be gone, but I forgot to delete it there.
All
it's not a budget.
Different.
I've been clear. Black Adam. This Black Adam #1. This is not a cheap book. This is one that I dig. This is there's a mini for Black Adam that's out there. This is the 1 in 10. This is the Alex Ross cover for it. So this is the variant for this. Gorgeous cover. I dig this. But this is not something that you're going to be finding for in a cheap box these days. I mean, if you look, the most recent sale here, $103.
Ooh.
33 bids on it too. So there was a lot of action. A lot of activity on this. Honestly, there's probably still a little room just because, we haven't gotten a trailer. The movie's still a ways off. This is the kind of thing that will probably spike a little bit more. Not that I'm saying go buy it at $100. It's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying it still will probably sell for a little bit more before we hit that actual movie. And then, drop back down once again. There's a regular cover as well. I think it's I can't remember who the artist is, but it was the same artist who did Manchester Black when they an Action 775. I'm pretty sure. Can't remember his name. Anyway, that was the first one that I thought of, and I did these by value, current sale prices, value. So our next one is one of those Superboy books that Marco mentioned before, and yeah, wait, why this one? This is 13. You see, you got Knockout, but this is King Shark with the Suicide Squad in this issue. So
And
this
a DC variant. That's the DC
with the
Universe
crew.
variant.
The DC Universe variant. Yes. These things are not easy to find. Always check the barcode area for that DC Universe logo, because while many of them aren't that valuable, there are quite a few that are well worth your time. So if you find them in a dollar bin,
I'll tell you this though about the DC Universe. It reminds me of like 4 or 5 years ago with newsstands, where there was like a couple people collecting specifically DCUs, a couple people were collecting newsstands, and then it became more popular. Like newsstands more popular now.
No, definitely. I totally agree with you. I don't totally agree with the buying of the newsstands, but people buy them. So if I find them in a cheap box, I will buy them specifically to sell them for that reason. So that's why I'm saying, I'm not saying go collect these things because, I'm a big DCU Universe collector either. I just know, just like Spawn books, which we referenced earlier.
Yeah.
Sometimes
what I'm saying too is like, don't get excited. Like
buy.
If you see the barcode and you're like, Pete put this up and said it's $100 book and they're only selling it for, $10. Well, it's because it's not the DCU. You do have to check that out.
Yeah, this one, I think the regular cover is a little pricier these days just because of the movie, because it's King Shark in the Suicide Squad. Look, you can see Knockout. She's right there with Boomerang and Deadshot. This is the Suicide Squad crossover with King Shark. But the DC Universe one is why it's $108 that this sold for. And then you got the regular first appearance of King. Well, I know there's some, debate over whether he's in issue 0 and whether that's the first appearance.
I think they're calling that a cameo.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like to go over the cameo first full. You buy what you want to buy. Just know what you're buying. If it's a panel, you're buying a panel. But for this, you're getting them on the cover. And if you can get that DC Universe, you're going to get a lot more. Because $200 was the ask, but they still got 170.
Nice.
Done.
For Raw, huh?
For Raw. Yeah, this is a Raw book. I only went with Raw. That's a good point, because I did look up some of these books that I had chosen. There are graded copies and graded versions, some of them which are really high, but not everybody buys graded books. So I felt like, let's go with Raw.
Agree.
But yeah, $170 was still accepted on this for a DC Universe Superboy 9. And then, I know, this has got the City Sirens. We all thought this was going to be what the Emancipation of Harley Quinn was going to be. It might have been more like this, but I picked this because Harley's in the Suicide Squad. Poison Ivy was another Suicide Squad character. So despite, Catwoman's appearance very prominently on this cover, I felt like, you know what? Let's throw this one up there. I debated the second print for issue 1, but I thought to go with the incentive variant because, I don't know, I dig it. J.G. Jones, I like it.
Oh! Good night.
$340 raw was the ask. What do you think they got for this? $340 is what they're asking. What do you think they are actually able to?
I'd give them $1.
You give $1?
Oh no! I mean, they probably got.
They got $310.
No
they got
way.
$310 on this.
No way.
$310 on this. July 23rd, which is only a few weeks ago. I remember this book was in a shop near me. I was hemming and hawing. I think it was like at 150 or 120, and I was like, I want this. It's like, I think it's a 1 in 25 is the incentive on it. It's not a 1 in 10. I think it's a 1 in 25. And I thought about it, and I just didn't act, and then it was gone eventually. So somebody else bought it. So
JJ, you're close with 305. JJ was right on top of it.
Yeah, right on the mark there. Look at that. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed. I would have thought like, you know what? They probably took like 250.
Yeah, I would thought it would have been under 275, 250.
Yeah. And then I got one more for you, which is a classic. I know Harley's not on this current list of Suicide Squad, but we were doing last week. We're also doing Suicide Squad, and
yeah, sure.
Hey, so I figured I had to include this one, and I was surprised this one still got $400.
Wow. Yeah, I'm still well.
401.58. This is from the UK. Look at that ship. I don't know if you can see the shipping price. That's $49 shipping from the UK on this. So this is technically $450, $460 on this raw. This is also raw, not graded. Though I will tell you, I prefer the Panini, the German version, where the black undies are not present. I don't know why. I just like it. I know.
I get you. Yeah,
a little pervy, I guess, but I don't know. It just seems like more reason. It just seems like it would be more natural for just being in a straitjacket. But I'm also a Hughes fan, so I do like this cover. I do not have this version of it. I only have that.
I was going to say, as long as it's Hughes, not J. Scott Campbell, because he'll explain to you why the underwear's supposed to be there, and why the leg is the perfect.
But yeah, so that's all I got. But those are all pricey books. You'd be surprised. There's not a lot of variants or things like that for something like Suicide Squad. DC they do things a little bit differently. They're trying to do more of the variants, I guess, these days, but I'm just not into them. Like all those design variants that they're doing for the Batman titles.
Yeah.
I just don't care, personally. That's just me. But that's it. That's what we got for the top 5 variants this week. Again, they're not cheap books, but again, I just want you to be aware of them so you know what these things are selling for. So if you somehow saw that Harley Quinn Adam Hughes book at a shop for like $100, you might think about, well, at $100, it's a good price considering it's selling for $450.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm thinking about here.
Honestly, it's just whatever we really want.
Well, there's that too.
It's like, oh man, a lot of times it's just like, hey, dude, I was over there digging and I saw this, or could you believe this? It's got hit up. What time is it? We got, guys, do you want to see box number 2? Chat, tell us. Do you want to stay around for box number 2? Now, remember, I went to con like 3 weeks ago. We opened
like
box
3 weeks ago now.
But we chose box number 2. We opened up box number 2. We still have box number 1. If you guys want box number 1 opening to see what I got, we'll do it. What is this now that the secret? What is that clapping of hands? That might be clapping of hands.
I think it's clapping.
All right.
Yeah, it's clapping.
I'm down. Let's see it. Okay, let me go open up the other box. Let me see.
Hold on.
I don't even know what's in
We're
here.
putting you on. You're putting you on. I should put you with the Harley legs. See how you look.
It could not be worth it. No, I work out. I need the other legs. I need what's her name? Knockout legs.
Oh, you need the knockout legs.
My legs thick, bro. Okay, this says box number 2 on it, but I think it says box number 2 because on the other side it says we're always listing our boxes on what they're supposed to be because like this one's already used. So I got 5. It says list this box now! Explanation points! Explanation points! Explanation, which is not for this round. So this is they should give us more sheet. I got to put a new sheet in there. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a. So after it came back, it press these and list them and whatever. All right. So I think this is the right box. This should be the right box. Okay, this is the right box. Not as I don't know if it's as good as the other box, but whatever.
Again, that doesn't have to be as good as the other.
So remember, these were ones. These
I'm
are
so
like
fascinated by books that get picked up. Like when you go
these are
to
dollar
shows and shops and things like that. I still like seeing what people buy.
Well, those are done now. No, just kidding. So here we go. This is what we got. This is the Tales of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is number 2. I know it's a 7, but I got it for $1. It's like an anthology of the original one came out the month after. Number 1 does hugely well, but this is also a wraparound cover.
I don't know that book. When you said Tales, when you were talking before the show, you were talking about Tales. I thought it was like the IDW, the newer version.
No. This is like the old version of the. No,
I was when you said it. I was all thinking IDW. I was thinking like the micro series, the macro.
Yeah, and I think sometimes when you do that, like that type of stuff, the collectors, as collecting starts getting bigger and bigger, and they have to find stuff to collect. Those will kind of go out. This is the. This is the silent issue. Believe it or not, it says enough said on it. But this is the silent issue of the King silent issue.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure you're aware. Everybody loves Kang these days.
Yeah, I know. 50 cents or $1. I picked it up. We've obviously talked about this book before. First appearance in this book of
is that Moonstone or Songbird?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Songbird.
One of those.
Moonbird. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see though. Because I'm almost. This has got. This should have the Rawhide Kid as a Marvel stamp in it.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say. Are you talking about the MVS?
Yeah. Maybe we should do it. We should probably do an episode on Marvel stamp books.
Oh, we could.
Let me see. Ooh, this is a clean book. This is real nice. Smells good too.
Yeah, you gotta smell those old books. Something about old paper.
I didn't check any of these books, and I really should check these books, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna flip to the page, and it's gonna be cut out, and you're gonna be like, "God damn it!"
Or missing completely. No, it's there. It is Rawhide Kid. Look at me, winner, chicken dinner. Look at that, and look at how clear. Do you see how white those pages are?
Is that Dr. Faustus or Dr.
Oh, that's the guy in the front that they kicks Captain America out of the plane. Slaughter in the Sky.
No, it's not Faustus. I saw the red beard.
Yeah. All right. Up next, this one I paid a little bit
wants
more.
to know, did you check for the stamp first, or did you just buy it hoping the stamp was in there?
Yeah, if you just noticed, that was the first time actually, because I just snapped I just hoped the stamp was in there. I didn't.
Yeah, so you're hoping. Yeah, I got you. I
paid $5 for that book, by the way. Another out of the $5 bin ones. And this is a good one for the $5. Or no, that's not true. This isn't true. I paid $12 for this. It was part of a group deal, so I averaged it out to $12. I paid $20 for the lot, but whatever. Okay, first Gambit, and yeah.
No.
That's cool. Now, see, I'm gonna do the thing that people do that's stupid, but because it's square bound, I'm doing it, not because I'm trying to show you spine ticks. With the square binding, you can kind of see something.
Oh yeah.
Clean. I mean, it was like
I think I got a 9.4 or 9.2 on mine.
So I thought the guy was.
I thought it was great.
No, I thought the guy was going to give me a little bit more and asked if I bought a whole thing. And then I was like, what's the best you could do? And he's like, $20. This. So it was $12 for that. However you did the math, it was $12 for that. Something, $1 off something else and $1 off something else. So
that's still a great price, though. For that book these days.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not going to overtake 266, but it's gained a lot of ground. I will say that.
Well, I also like Rachel Summers. And I think this Rachel Summers on the front cover is dope.
Oh yeah.
That's how I used to always pick it up for that. And you got a little Marvel girl on there. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in here, especially in the background.
Plus, if you're a big Ahab fan, you can always
I pick up the special too for Ahab. The special where he's on there with the Franklin kids and all that. Then we've got the second cover appearance of Omega. Also some stuff inside. Got that one.
That was it. Omega Red.
Omega Red.
Mm-hmm. I like that cover. I did.
Yeah,
that cover.
I do too. Also by this one too, I got for $5. A lot of these X-Men, the
first binary.
The binary cover. I like her. I had a lot of crushes on X-Men girls. Yeah.
How could you not?
Back in the day. They all had thick legs too. Then I got some out of the 50 centers.
Joe's going back to Gambit because I know we have a little bit of a delay, but live action Gambit. I don't know. John Carter, Taylor Kitsch didn't move Gambit books when he showed up, but that was just garbage.
Garbage. Yeah, I think everybody's getting ready for it. So Doom War, the Mayberry. I actually liked some of Mayberry's horror writing too. So I mean, I got these. This is was out of the 50 center. Gives you 2. I actually bought the whole thing, but I didn't have the rest of them.
Oh yeah, Doom War. Yeah, Doom War.
Yeah, the Doom War.
I like that. Plus, that first one there's all the bodies on the cover.
Yes, the dead bodies. Yeah. Actually, so this is another one where you want. So this was the limited series one, and this actually, when you want to start talking about connecting covers and wraparounds and stuff you get the mesh. Okay, I'll open it up. No, I won't. I won't because it's sealed. Don't do this. They put Scotch tape and they use one of the seal packs.
Sometimes that tape, you don't want to.
But then they use a seal pack on it too. I mean, that's just too much. So remember we were talking about 1-in-100s and 1-in-150 sketch covers for X-Men coming out of the dollar bins. This also did too. Apparently, I put it in there. So that's a Tales of the Astonishing X-Men. This has got to be the 150. This I think is a. I don't
even remember
number 50. Yeah, this is the stuff that was crazy stuff that was coming out.
I just remember the director's cut that they came out with later, but
so then we've also got first what's her name on a cover. Apparently this is a thing now for the 1 point. I got it for $1, but I've always picked up these 1 points anyways. I know it says whatever it said. What does it say 5? But it was out of $1. And then down in the corner, you know what I mean? Chavez is. Yeah, there she is.
Oh yeah, America Chavez.
America Chavez is right there.
Multiverse of Madness. She's showing up.
So whatever. I mean, you got some Nova on there too, and then you got Sam Alexander Nova. You got both Novas. Also, because they were in the dollar bins, and we talked about the Matinas.
So was Nick Fury Jr. on that cover too.
It is. That's originally why you buy it for $1. Now you buy it because Chavez is. Nick Fury Jr. Should I buy this for $1? That's one of those ones. I was like, I already got 8 of these. Am I still buying Nick Fury Jr.? And turned to the guy next to me. He goes, no, you're buying American Chavez. I said, oh, crap, that's right. She's on the cover. He goes, yeah. So stop saying that. Okay. So the Matina, the Thunderbolts, it was a 2-pack for $1. So there's 1, And then I actually got the whole series, but I didn't. There's the other one for $1. Oh, I love that one.
That was a good run. That was a good run. It was Matina and then Jurdovic.
Jurdovic. Oh, and one last thing for $1. Because whatever. And it is a toy reprint, but I figure why not? Because toy reprints are kind of cool.
Oh,
he made sure. I probably should take the sticky off of the.
I love the toy reprints. Anytime I see a toy reprint, I'm buying it. I don't give a shit.
In the book. Oh, this is a way to do something. It's on a bag and a board, and then it's on a Lucy, and then the toy reprint on the inside. So I'll probably take that out. I got to go through this stuff finally. Then I'm back from vacation. I'll probably take the toy reprint out. But for $1, in the bag split. Awesome, dude. What are you doing here? So that's all I got. The Luke Cage Hero for Hire for $1. The reprint, the toy reprint. Or is that the 6th printing? That's the 4th. The toy reprint is
I don't care what printing.
The 3rd printing of that book.
Those the comic packs, the toy biz, inclusion comics. I buy them all the time. I love those things.
Yeah, I mean, so this is when we're talking about the C list and we're talking about on the budget. These are some of the stuff that I buy from the C list and on the budget. We talk about the books, but we actually do buy them out of the dollar bins, and it gives you something to look at and remember. I've Silver Doom too. That is in another box. I was picking up. I think I got 3 good Silver Age Doom covers too. I've been picking up all cool Doom covers, but
Doom is coming. Doom will come.
I think so, and I think Doom's got a lot of cool stuff ahead of him. Oh, cool. Joe. I hope you're not close to me because we're digging for the same stuff. So you can, if you're. Apparently, he looks like he's a Pittsburgh fan. Don't worry, I'll get there and wipe it out too. But before that, cool. I actually had a lot of Pittsburgh. That's who I was with. My friends from Pittsburgh is who I was staying with for some of my vacation.
Pittsburgh. Why? Oh, I watched Wonder Boys was on the other day. I was watching that.
Wonder Boys.
It takes place in Michael Douglas and Tobey Maguire, Robert Downey Jr. Good little flick, but it takes place in the Pittsburgh area because I think the writer Michael Chabon. I don't know how to say his name. I think he's from Pittsburgh. Anyway.
Either way, Pittsburgh people are interesting.
Yeah,
the Yinzers and all their weird stuff and how they say, like we say pop, but they say pop. And it's interesting.
I don't say pop. I call it soda.
Well, you're weird. You're from,
you're
East Coast. You're a Jerseyan.
Yeah, I'm in Jersey, so we just call it soda. You call it pop, whatever you want to call it. But
we did comic Stick Boy. We watched What If, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. We did spoil a little bit of it. I hope you enjoyed that too. All right, so check it out. Real quickly, we are close to 1,000, so this is what I want us to do. Pete is going on vacation next week. I would really love it if you tell all your friends, your cousins, because it just make him. He'll be hitting me up on vacation all nervous if we get to 1,000 next week. So let's try to get him there. We're so close to 1,000. We do appreciate all the support. I know you don't want to hit 1,000 next week, but I don't want to hit it
when I'm gone because I still need to do a video to show you guys all the stuff you're going to get when we hit 1,000. I got a whole box here of books. Like I got a box of books here that's full of the things that didn't get picked, and then I got the extras you got to vote on, and I got a slab or two that I'll throw in. 1,000's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, 1K is coming. Ruben has it. Ruben, did you win the last giveaway?
No. Everybody keeps busting on Ruben. Ruben hasn't won in a while.
Sure. All right. Well, maybe we'll
Jedi Text one though. Sacred Jedi.
Oh, good job, Sacred Jedi Text.
He got the runner-up, the runner-up that Starlight Squadron, which you were making fun of. So he got the Starlight Squadron for 900. That one.
Right. Fair enough. Joe, good to see that you're out in Pittsburgh. It's great. That's all we kind of got, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're good. I mean, we're 2 hours in. That's more than what we usually do.
Yeah, that is. So next week we're going to have some type of show. It might be me just sitting in a chair going and picking my nose, but we'll have something for you. Or maybe I'll just open one of these boxes.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, you might find a guest, or I might be able to have good internet connection where I'm going. I mean, my brother's going to be holding down the fort here at my compound, but
yeah.
But other than that, I might have an internet. I just don't know what the internet's going to be down there.
We'll see what it is. We might have a short version. We'll get you a C list together no matter what. I'll come up with something. It might be an extended C list. I don't know how we're going to do tier without Pete because I don't run the tier list. Pete puts it together.
We got to do it on the internet. You're the one who showed me the site.
I know, but I don't. Just because I show you it, doesn't know I know how to work it.
It does take work because you got to get it ready.
All right, so we'll figure something out, though. We will definitely figure something out. We appreciate everybody. We will see you. Oh, if we don't see you on Sunday, we'll see you next week. Oh, could you clarify what's going on Sunday? So the usual extra TV, the earlier Star Wars TV show.
Yeah,
Or
I know I confused Ruben. I definitely know I confused Ruben. But the CBSI stuff that I do with Ben and Mike, we're just taking a little pause. Mike's starting up school. Ben has been busy doing his thing. I've been busy doing my stuff, and I'm going on a little vacation. So we're like, you know what? Time out from doing the CBSI Star Wars show, which hits earlier on Sunday.
But the live show is still going on.
But the live show is still going on. Jedi, JJ, with Marco, that's still rolling without it, without any disruptions. So don't be confused by that. Sorry if I confused anybody, especially Ruben, because I know he did.
The Sunday live show. We have a backup plan to a backup plan. That thing is a well-oiled machine.
We got a deep crew. I mean, eventually we'll get Jen Bratt back on. Maybe Morello.
Oh, shh. Speaking of that, it might be sooner than you think.
Oh, come on. If she shows up when I'm gone,
I forgot to tell you. No, she won't. But I will. Let's get off and we'll talk.
All right. Anyway, thank you all for
very much
hanging with us, and it was fun.
We really enjoy it. We do. We enjoy all you guys. Sacred, Jen, Joe. Cool. All right. Let's go.